Interesting. Seems the live stream works now. Let's see if there are 2 live streams running. Because there might be. There could be. Bring this over here. We're going to grab the menu. And let's jump into here. Well, let me refresh. Alright, there are 2 of them running. So this one needs to be deleted. Fetus deletus. Delete. Okay, because the first one was not working. How's it going, guys? Alright, and so now it's actually the second one that it's working. The second one's working. So we're going to hit save on that. We're going to jump into here. Mike Side figured it out really quickly. Thank you, Mike Side. I appreciate that. More Mickey? Yep, I wasn't done buying Mickey Mouse cards. I really am fascinated by them. Paldea Evolved is here. Okay, we've got Blaziken Alt Break. And we've got more vintage Mickey cards. And we're a live card shop. Live card shop. Okay, we'll hit save on that. Let's go ahead and grab some keywords. Very good. I think I'm probably done buying Mickey Mouse cards for a little while, though, because I got a good stock of them now. Okay, at here, we're live for Friday night. I feel kind of bad. I just sort of fell asleep. And, you know, when I'm sleeping in the daytime, I feel like my wife gets even more lonely. So I kind of feel bad for her. But I'm going to be staying up tomorrow. I'm not going to fall asleep. I'm going to be staying up. We're going to buy that new boat. So hopefully that makes her happy. Let's see. Got a message from Emilio. I see the package arrived to your house. Mr. Can I get paid? Check your Zelle request. Thanks. Oh, Emilio is saying that I should have received his package. Mr. Emilio, I didn't see it. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna go look for Mr. Emilio's. Well, you guys maybe you could come with me. No, you guys stay here on the table. Let me go see if I find Mr. Emilio's package. Emiliano's, not Emilio. Emiliano's. Alright, I'm back. Mr. Emiliano's package did arrive. So let's get settled in. Take a quick look at it. Look, Mr. Emilio sent me some Evolving Skies. Let's see. 11 months Yolan. 1 more month. Nice, man. Mister, why you late? Well, you know, we've been starting at 12:30 a lot. It's not really late. Not too late to sell you lots of cards. I was sleeping, if you must know, though, because I did not get the best sleep. All right, so he sent me mostly modern slabs here. Only one of them's real good. It's this one. We have a pristine Inteleon VMAX. That could be a break in the near future. Then we got some, like, okay slabs. Charizard, Sylveon, Squirtle, the bird, the statue, Reshiram, Water, Charizard, Naughty Grammar, and Coughing. So those are all okay. But I do like the Inteleon Altart. That one's nice. Bane Abs! Thanks, Matthew Bain. So let's get this Evolving Skies open, and I'll put that in the Evolving Skies box. We have a box here. Okay, you hurt his feelings. Whose feelings? Throw this away. All right, one box. Get the other one. Are you still doing the Paldea box break? How's it going, Six Corrupted? It ended. Two dudes won. I don't remember their names. Kyle Burns was one of them. Two dudes, men. Ugh. I hate men. Men are gross. Okay, that's put away. Paldea Evolved has an official spot on the shelf now. Keep all the Paldea Evolved right here. Big, thick case of it. Here's that Blaziken making progress. Okay, look at this. Mickey's Fun Fair. This is from like 1980s or something like that. I'm sorry, not 1980s, like 1930s. The number 3 and the number 8 get mixed up in my head. Did you guys know that? So this is 1930s. Gosh. Wow, they feel great. So somebody's grandma kept this in her attic forever, and now they're worth a ton of money. Crazy how that works, guys. Makes you think about hoarding, doesn't it? I like that Donald Duck. There it is. What do you think of that? Let me give it a little smell. Oh, they smell crazy, man. I was coughing earlier. I wonder if these were causing me to cough, like an asthma thing. Do they come with asbestos? Maybe. Actually, probably. They probably at some point were inside of an asbestos house. Okay, so this is just another cool thing, another thing in my pocket. Oh, I found this. I wanted to show this to you guys. We've been selling a lot of poker cards. I paid $750 for this one, Yellow Deck Gengar 10. Really neat. He's part of my Gengar collection now, so I dropping some big money on the right poker card. Some new cards in my collection. We've got Web Gengar. Now, Web Gengar I'll probably hold on to for a little while, but Dusknoir's going to be up for sale. Houndoom's probably going to be a future break. Look how nice that is. Lovely Houndoom. And then we have this Electivire, too. I don't even know why I bought the Electivire. No clue. But I did. So we've got Electivire now. And put them down here for now. Okay, cool. Let's get this off the table real fast. Yo, mister, I just got an ad saying black girl voices are often unheard. WTF. Isn't it like the other way around at this point? I feel like it's the other way around. I feel like after Black Lives Matter, all of the commercials became black actors, and then all the movies, we started doing all the race swapping. So I feel like it's probably the other way around. There we go. They almost get sort of like chosen first compared to all the other races of humans. There's a lot of different races. It's not just white. I mean like all these other races get, you know, passed over because they're not black. They should have been black and then they wouldn't have been passed over. So, wow, look at that, man. That's crazy looking. Let's talk politics. I'm feeling rebellious. Well, we talk about anything you want to talk about. I don't care. Anything you want. That's what keeps a card shop interesting to me, is coming in and meeting the people and having a little conversation, you know? Okay, oh, right, so Emiliano says he wants his money. He said, mister, give me my money or I'll break your knees. All right, let's get into our inbox because I believe that's where I have this saved. Yeah, Emiliano Orala. Here it is. He requested a lot of money for all that, and I'm going to go send it to him. Mister, don't throw away the starting order marker so easily. Witness me. The what? Zelle. Send money. Transfer money from my account to... Oh, here it is. This one right here. Okay. Okay, my business account. Continue transfer. I hope this works. Send money with the Zelle. Oh, hold on. I gotta use my cell phone for this. All right. All right, so let's see. All right. It won't allow me to do it. It requires my debit PIN card. I don't know my own debit PIN card. I've never used it. Wow. I can't send it because it requires too much stuff. All right, let me contact him. Hold on. All right. So I'm not able to send the money to him at the moment. It requires a whole bunch of rules before it will allow me to send the money. And so instead of doing that, I think it's best that we start opening orders. What do you think? Okay, so we stopped at Anthony Rodriguez, 4 spots on the Psyduck. Let's check Zelle. No new Zelles. All right, new orders. David Morris, 2 spots in the Duck. Did we already do that one? Yeah, we already did that one. That was 6 hours ago. Poker Gengar price? I'm interested. That's my Poker Gengar. You stopped at me. Okay. We stopped at you. Here is a Calvin Fellman order from 6 hours ago. Pre-order for the nighttime stream. Last 2 spots in the Psyduck. Psyduck's done, everybody. Calvin pre-ordered. Oh, right. I took my marker with me to bed. Mister, you never did mine. Oh, good point. Okay, Calvin Fellman. It's 14 and 15. There we go. So Jeff, where's Jeff's order? That's David. That's Anthony Rodriguez. That's Chris. That's Carlos. It's weird. It's odd. Do you mind telling me what was in the order? Oh, is it this one? Jeff Leon, 2 Paldea, 2 Hololive. I think it was that one. 2 Paldea, 2 Hololive. There you go. And Paldea is on my right. 1, 2. There it goes. I'm getting pissed, says John Silver. All right, let's see what you guys were all saying. How much is he selling the poker card for? Poker card's just for showing off. Social security number, that's right. I love Dragon Nuts. Mr. Someone who we know is an undercover owl. Why are you saying that? Mister, you stopped at me. Mister, anyone tracking the Japanese Sun and Moon cards could be wrong. How you liking Paldea Evolved? It's okay. With Paldea Evolved, we had 2 prices. $5 for just the hits, $6 for the hits and all of the holos. Because we are having a problem where there's too many holos. I need to do that for Scarlet Violet base as well. The thing is, with the Scarlet Violet base, nobody was ordering it, so it wasn't really a big problem. Will you be getting Japanese Violet soon? You know, I've been out of those for a while. I was hoping they would do like a big restock in Japan, so maybe I will check up on that. Hey, Mr. I already read that. There are 2 types of Paldea Evolved packs, or is it we just donate the holo? If you do $5, the holos are donated. If you do $6, you keep the holos. That's all it is. It's $1 difference. It's because I have to have some kind of solution to the very heavy amounts of holos per, you know, like some guy ordered 20 packs. He had a pile like this thick of just holos, and it's just like, if everyone did that, it would just be unbelievable. I don't know how we would store all the cards on the table. There we go. Speaking of which, what did Jeff do? Oh, Jeff, I can't tell if this is holos or not, your order. Heavy amount of holos, you say? Okay, we got this holographic girl. And TCC's final solution. 9999. Funny, man. The holos must go. All right. Pop that in there. Put this in. But it's my bulk. I'm pissed. You have an option to do bulk or bulkless with those holos. Jeff Leon says 2 clay bursts, 2 hololive. Oh, 1 hololive. Jeff Leon. It's my money, and I want it now. So I have an opportunity to rent a building and open a card shop for $1,300 a month. What do you guys think? Worth it? I feel like that would be too much. I was doing some math, and I was thinking like with utility bills, rent, and the cost of an employee, a cheap employee, mind you, to help me run the building, feels like my cost would get around $3,500. And so I felt like just to break even, I'd have to make $3,500 of profit from that little building per month. It just seems too high. Mister, I feel like that's cheap for rent these days. Not worth the overhead. Yeah, I mean, it's not worth the overhead, but it's not like I sell a lot of cards locally at all. No one from Camdenton buys from my live stream. Seems like what I could do is open up that building. He says, yeah, I guess so. You're right. I buy cards and you just throw them all away. You don't have distribution. You'd have to run events, not just sell cards. You couldn't even stream. Well, right. So I would have to continue hosting my own stream at my home while someone else runs the card shop, essentially. Sell Slurpees and Glizzies there, you'll make it. Mister, you'll be able to get distro prices with brick and mortar. You guys know distribution prices aren't crazy low, right? You know that? Sounds like more bulk. You'd be better off with an office. Mister, I want that Charizard. Okay, here we go. So that's for Jeff Leon. $1,300 a month for rent. Is that high? I don't actually know how that sounds. It just sounds like I'd be nervous that the people out here in Camdenton can't give me enough volume to pay the cost of that rent. Wilder Cardona, bulk grade the welcome promo. I swear we did that already. Bulk grade the welcome promo. I think that my emails are all messed up. Yeah, we already did that. It's almost like the order for that is showing up just now. There we go. I'm questioning what's real. Here is a Jonathan Cardenas. $5. Our donation. Never got my Star Wars pack opened last stream. Let me get you 2 Star Wars packs, okay? Well, let me make sure. Jonathan Cardenas. Psyduck is done? Yes, Psyduck is done, isn't it? We should get that Psyduck. Ever since the email started being all faulty, it's really screwed things up. Oops. Okay, give me a second. So Jonathan Cardenas ordered Star Wars Chrome. Ah, there we go. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's go get that Star Wars Chrome. I'll give you that one anyways. Haha. Did we not open a Star Wars Chrome for Jonathan Cardenas? It's weird because my brain feels like it remembers opening like this right here for you. Are you sure we didn't? What did you order before that? Star Wars Chrome, I have a bag. So that was at 12:42 a.m. And then you ordered a Star Wars Chrome that fixed the original one. Pretty sure we did open it. I think we opened this one right here. Jonathan, I think we did open it. It was this one. I remember because you had this guy here, and they were unusually warped because the cards are just warped when they come out of the pack. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we got it actually, Cardenas. Here we go. I'll give you this anyways as a donation, but get back to me because I feel like we did actually open it. Okay, let's work on this Psyduck. Mr. Show me that Charizard. What set, what grade, and what is it worth? Oh, yeah. You going to go buy that one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right. Very nice. 15 people are in. One person walks away with the Psyduck. Will Electivire be for sale in the future? Yeah, I could see Electivire being a potential break. Nope. Nope. Maybe I'm thinking about putting it on Slab Away. You're going to put a $2,000 Charizard on Slab Away. You got the money for that? Kingston, I don't think that will work. Remember what I said? I said I want you to ship your cards out every $200. Remember that? So I don't think that would work. All right, Uncle John says find 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very good. Here is 6 corrupted on 1. On 2 we have Sven. Sven is 3. Here's 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, 7 is Cheese. Wow, Cheese having some luck. All right, congratulations to Cheese. Winnie the Cheese, Winnie the Cheese, silly, chubby, flumpy old bear. Very good. Okay. Just got an email. I want to read it. It popped up on my screen. Cheese. Okay, cool. Chris Acevedo, $35 to his Slab Away. Mr. Chris. Ignore my request. Use Zelle to pay the amount directly to me like I do when I purchase cards from you. What the hell? All right. So Mr. Emiliano's talking to me. What was I doing? We just finished that. Duck. Let's go get a new one. Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh, do 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 do. Here's a cute one. How about Tentacruel 9.5 from the blue deck? I think that water Pokemon from the blue deck is really cool. Mr. Cheese said to drill a card. He did? Let me go drill it. That'd actually be pretty fun. Don't go drinking the yellow snow. Don't go drinking yellow snow. What, you guys trying to come in here and have some bud with your buds? Okay. Let's use the, can you guys even see it when it's the red pen? Is it too dark or too thin? $5, 1, 4, 13. Okay, totally made up price. I consider that a low and good price. I drank Bud Light and my puss got wet. What if I like lemon flavor? No drilling allowed. Look at that. So we just got this from Mr. Emiliano. We gotta sell one of these. It'd be funny if we did a break on that and then Mr. Emiliano got back in and won the break. Marker is better. Okay, let's see what Mr. Emiliano is continuing to say. Oh, he hasn't responded yet. Okay. Oh, we were doing Chris Acevedo. $35 Chris Acevedo slab. Do. Okay, here it is. You're going to have $265 remaining. Thank you, Chris Acevedo. And now Mr. Emiliano says you can also use transfer money using my bank account. Oh, because he also has a ZELLE? Hold on, let me log into my bank account. Mr. Emiliano says I want my money. Trying to figure out how to get this money over to him. Close that, and then let's say transfer ZELLE, send money. Transfer money from this. You may add an account. Last name, Parala. Request, we didn't find a match. Oh. What's your ZELLE email? All right. We're going to figure that out. Richard Silver is next. One spot in the Blaziken. Richard. You got it, Richard. The yellow snow tastes the best, Queenston. It's my money and I need it now. At the country fair tonight. Nice weather outside. I got my first truck today. Got a hell of a deal. Paid cash, so no payments. It's my money. I'm pissed. Your first truck, now you're a real man. 2-0 lanes for Richard Silver. I'm gonna go so fast. Go. Go ahead and snip this. Snip. Go this way. Uh-huh. Bigger the truck, smaller the pee-pee. Uh-huh. There you go. That's for Richard Silver. Hey, Mr. in chat. Hope all is well. Officially made it to Colorado for the new job. New opportunity begins Monday. Nice, man. Glad to hear that. New job in Colorado. You're on an adventure right now. An adventure that now gets very boring. Once you get into that grind, you know what I mean? Were you allowed to watch Monster Jam when you were younger? What was Monster Jam? I don't recognize it. My parents actually enjoyed watching TV shows and movies. So there wasn't... We were allowed to watch a lot of things. Looking for Richard Silver. Here he is. Oh, Monster Trucks? Nobody wanted to watch Monster Trucks. Nobody would have watched it. We would have been like, boring. A guy once told me he wished the white lines on the road was Coke. Sent an order to ship. Forgot to say I had a slab. Better smash that like buttons. Monster Jam Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Everyone would have probably been bored of that. Feezy Comic says 1 in each $5 break. If filled, just 2 in the 1. Okay. Well, how many breaks are there? Okay. My favorite was that bull truck. VZ Comics. VZ Comics. There it goes. How dare you, mister? Yeah, I mean, we clicked on it before and seen some big trucks rolling over some small cars and stuff and doing flips. But it's just, you know, eventually you're like, yep, it's the same thing. 3 spots on the Gengar slab, Richard Silver. Okay, this is going to be 7, 8, 9, Richard Silver. 7, 8, 9. My favorite was that bull truck, Sunday, Gravedigger, El Toro. Watched it at Redneck's Cousin as a kid, Blue Thunder. I think there was another truck with horns before Toro Loco. What? Here's Brad Bedell, towards my slab away. Brad Bedell. Let me mark this as unread. And then let's go find Brad Bedell. Brad Bedell. And how much was it? 50? So this 541 goes down by how much? 491. Okay, you're good. Now, we're going to try and get Mr. Emiliano his money once more. So give me a minute. Okay, transfer money from my account to... Hold on. Send money, Zelle. Add email. Individual. Mobile number is this guy. First name. Last name. Okay, we're going to add recipient. I've actually never used Zelle. I've only accepted money on Zelle. Success, you added so-and-so for money. Okay. Now, let's go back to transfer Zelle. Send money. Transfer money from my account to his account in the amount of 1520. Continue transfer. All right, so it's going to ask me for a code again. Send code. And it wants debit card. Oh my God, dude. I can't do it. Okay, so I got to tell him I can't do it. All right, I can't send him the money. That's disappointing. Mister, for Lake Mayor, we did the CZETBs. Do you have 151 boxes up for any breaks? Do you guys want to start doing 151 box breaks? I mean, I'd consider it. All right. So Brad Bedell is done. Gerardo Salas says Disney 100. I love watching roller derby. Those chicks were hot, hitting each other in the face. Sorry, I'm responding to Emiliano. All right, Gerardo, because he wants his money. What do we got? Little Mermaid and Lion King. All this will be yours. That's nepotism. How do you feel about LGBTQ community as a whole? I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. Is that what you want? You're funny, man. The only thing that bothers me is rainbow flags on government buildings. It's not right. I don't agree with that. No rainbow flags on the government building. No. Right? I don't view it any differently than if you're running like the Jesus flag or some other like really niche group flag. The government is for all, not for one group. The government is for all, right? This is a country where you can practice your own religion. So, for example, let's say you are Islamic and you don't believe in homosexuality because it says not to. Okay, so why is all the buildings got to have gay flags on it then, right? It's kind of pushy. My opinion is very pushy, actually. It's not kind of, it is pushy. Everything else, fair game. I don't really care. You know, Target wants to sell LGBTQ stuff, go for it. You know, Bud Light, I'd go for it. Shouldn't be on government buildings. The American flag's the only thing that should be on the American building, right? It's like if they ran the Confederate flag. I don't agree with that either. Shouldn't be in a Confederate flag. Shouldn't be any flag. Should be one flag, the American flag. Have you ever tossed the remote up in the air just to have it fall on your balls? No. LGBTQ sounds like a gay barbecue. Them brainwashing children doesn't bother you. Well, if you don't like it, pull your kids out of that school. Actually, I've said this multiple times. I think we should completely get rid of the public school education system and not pay taxes toward it anymore. Because you think it's cheap because it's free, but it's actually very expensive. So you should completely get rid of it. Public school is horribly outdated. You can learn everything on the internet now, and we should create a new system where you receive some sort of stipend that allows you to choose a private school, and public schools should be done away with. They're non-competitive. They don't keep up with technology. Popular streamer that got their skin removed from COD Online Store. The reason is he said he wanted to be the one to teach his kids about LGBTQ instead of a teacher. Oh, that was about what Call of Duty was about. Oh, I heard about this. What if they allow the pride flag next to the American flag in classrooms? Yeah, no, it's, you know, what if I wanted to have the Quran flown in all over the walls in the classroom too? Nobody would agree to that. I don't think they would normally. So no, it's, you know, you want to keep the school a neutral thing. The only place I should see a rainbow is in the sky. Yeah, except the entire country would collapse. Would be dumb. John Silver. Come on, keep these places neutral. The government is the government. It's not there to make a political statement. It's the government. All right. And I think actually, if I was in the LGBTQ group, I would be like, take the flag down. You know, let's not shove our stuff down their throat because it's obnoxious. It's going to actually make people dislike us and feel like we're trying to take over. And you're not trying to take over. You're just trying to be left alone, really. You know, you want to be left alone. You want to be able to practice whatever sexual identity you want to practice and be left alone. But if you're like, all right, we own you now. We've got the government in our pocket. Now people are going to start paying attention and getting mad. They're going to be like, wait a second, I didn't sign up for this. The whole idea of being able to be okay being, you know, homosexual is he's homosexual, I'm straight. That's okay too, right? So, okay, so, well, now we got to fly a straight flag on the government too. Why would we do that? We would never do that. Okay, so you shouldn't fly a straight flag, and we don't need to fly a gay flag either. There's no need for either of those things. So just get all the flags out of there. One American flag that represents all Americans. All Americans. And that's the right way to do it. It doesn't twist anyone's panties in a bunch, right? So, Jeff Leon, 2 Holo Live, 2 Paldea. I think also it looks bad to other countries, to be honest. I think it does, because there are countries where they really don't agree with that kind of stuff, and we're basically saying, yeah, we're the gay government. Get over it. We're the gay government. I feel like American values are freedom, which is different than saying American values is definitely LGBTQ. Okay, so you have the freedom to be whatever you want over here. But that's different from saying we enforce LGBTQ. That's a little different. Like, this is us. We are just this thing, you know. I think that America saying, hey, we're all about the freedom of our citizens to practice and to express what they want is a very good, and people understand that concept very well. But the U.S. government said, we are the gays, and you're going to have to be gay too. Other countries are going to be like, all right, so you're kind of the bad guy, you know, because we don't agree with that. It says right here in my holy book, we don't do that. All right, you ready? So what do we got? You know, I need to know my math here, Jeff, because I need to know what type you bought. Let's see my math. Holo Live 2 is $10. So you sent, okay, so you sent to drop the holos. Boop. How gay of a government are we talking here? I'm an uncle of 10 nephews and nieces. They should not worry about anything more than being a kid and enjoying their youth. Mistake for lake president, not the size of your boat that matters, is how you ride the waves. Bunch of blankos in the government. There's gay people, all right? Cool, but it's like, why do you need to fly, you know, like a gay flag on your government buildings? It's just, it takes it a step too far. It really does. All right, what do we got? I think what you're going to do is you're going to make enemies. That's what I see. That's what my brain thinks. So you go too far, and what's the problem with going too far? You're going to make enemies for yourself, right? That's the whole like drag queens in school, kindergarten. Okay, so that's taking it that's taking it a step too far. You're going to make enemies for yourself. All of a sudden, people don't just see you as, you know, practicing your own thing, having your own freedom. They're seeing you as pushing their ideas onto your kids. So now you're not free to practice being straight, right? Because your kids got to be pushed into all this stuff. So, you know, you got to have like, you got to respect boundaries. It doesn't respect boundaries is what it is. And so that's the problem with it. You know, that's that term, you know, shoving it down someone's throat. You're not respecting their boundaries. And you're going to make enemies as a result. All right, let's see what's next. You're going to, the flag being on all the buildings is going to be used as a sort of propaganda tool for people who want to be an enemy of you. Oh, here's that email. Let's see. Interesting. That was not helpful. A ZELLE order for Anthony Hamain. Slab away for the Evo Zard. Whoa! Kingston, you can't slab it away now. It's been snatched. Anthony Hamain. Slab away. Has anyone won the Blaziken yet? Not yet. It's still filling up. The government is protecting the groomers so they can keep doing it. Anybody won the Blaziken, I identify as trans black, long peepee horse that likes to drink. Biden would fly the rainbow before the American flag. Hello, mister, how are you doing? Well, I think there is a reason for that, and that's because LGBTQ votes liberal. So that's their group, you know. It's a tribal group, and the future of politics is all about tribal groups now. So you try to get this tribal group together and that tribal group together and the other tribal group together, and then they all vote for you. So it's an alliance of tribes. Anthony Hamain. Something to think about, because you need to think about what group you fall into. Mr. Anthony. Anthony. Okay, you're going to be right here. June. Anthony Hamain. I can tell you what group I'm in. The Pokemon card group. PSA 10 Evo Charizard. 1950. And so if you sent $85, you put $60 down toward the slab. So this is $18.90 now. Okay, very good. There we go. Wow, he's gone. Any signed cards out of Azure Lane so far? We can't talk about that. That would be searching. That'd be cheating, you'd know. Vote for the gay or you're racist, says Marshall Weber. Something like that. What are you, a racist? Come on, man. A free society means you're going to have people practicing things that you don't agree with. And so the best way for that to work is for everybody to respect each other's boundaries, right? And you have to respect those boundaries. Putting the gay pride flag on all the official government buildings for a government that was supposed to represent everybody does not respect those boundaries. It goes too far. So I don't agree with it. Even if I'm okay with people being gay and doing their own stuff. Jennifer Yap says 2 Japanese Pokemon clays. You got it. There we go. We're reverting back to hiring people because of the color of their skin. Yeah, it's exactly. 2 Pixars. Let's grab those Pixars. Frickin' Brit. Has my PayPal order passed? Hello, Jen. I think we're working yours right now. People can do what they want. I just don't want to hear about it. What separates this loony culture from a religion? It's very religious-like. There you go. Just like we're religious about Pokemon cards. 1 Sneaker Bunko. Cheers. Okay, Sneaker Bunko. I need to get more Sneaker Bunko. Jennifer, I thought you'd never ask. Let me get some Sneaker Bunko for you. Sneaker Bunko. You trying to get some sexy girl cards? Does your mother know about this? Mister, we will always love you. See, that's pretty culty, man. I'm just kidding. All right. All right. Tribalism's a pretty big deal in 2023. Trump became the first president to be charged with a federal crime. He's charged. He's not found guilty of it, right? Although I wouldn't be surprised if they found him guilty. All right. Here's a cold one. When are you inviting all of us to the boathouse? We have a huge boat party. I probably wouldn't do that. I probably wouldn't invite everyone at once. Probably maybe just a smaller group. I think it'd be too much to try and get like too many people in this house. Did you do my ZELLE order yet? What was your ZELLE order? What was the name on it, Mr. Soulless Walker? Okay, you got Buzz Lightyear. My brother lulled the rarest card in the new set. Oh my god! Here we are. And here's the spoon guy. I never actually watched Toy Story 4. Was it any good? It was crazy when I was in school. You never heard of all the gay talk. Yeah, I mean, it's all we talk about now. It's literally all we talk about. Gay, not even homosexuality. I feel like we're past that point. All we talk about is transsexuality now. That is the conversation. That is the hot social topic. It being pushed in schools onto kids. Should it be what we do or should it not be what we do? Here we go. He's going to prison. Law. The indictment is good. Read. It is a good read and really makes him look bad. Biden never did what Trump did with all those docs, so no. I think that probably Trump will not end up going to jail, and it will likely backfire and become a big reason to vote for him. Let's see. Let's see what the news is saying. What we learned from the unsealed Trump indictment. Trump allegedly took classified documents to Mar-a-Lago after leaving office and resisted the government's attempt to retrieve them. Probably because he believed he was allowed to have them. You know, that sounds like he would give them back if he thought he was going to get in trouble for it. That's exactly what his defense is going to be, by the way. He's going to say, well, I'm allowed to have them. Missing children found alive after over month-long search of jungle plane crash? Holy cow, man. It sounds like it's an indictment and it's not over yet. Let me look at the word indictment. An indictment is an accusation of a crime. That's what it is. That's what an indictment is. So he actually has to go to court, and they actually have to win over that argument, the accusation. Yolan to Jempin says 410 accrual breaks. You got it, Yolan. Mr. Yolan. Space Jesus says it's been proven every other president took classified documents from the White House. I don't think people will stand for it, really. They actually try to stop Trump from running. I don't think they would get away with it. Yeah, I mean, it feels like trying to jail your political opponent. It really does. Biden has documents spread all over the East Coast. Biden has documents too. Read the indictment. His biggest problem is he's on tape and record bragging about sharing secrets. My son had girl blank right next to him. Of course, she had to sit down to pee, but she's a boy, lol. You should look up the pictures of the documents. It's not about having the documents, though. The harsh truth is that the LGBTQ community is wanting to tackle everything, so people will talk about them whether good or bad. That's old news. It's been proven, blah, blah. You got UFOs in Nevada. World's going crazy. He'll be in court Tuesday. 37 charges. The number of charges don't matter, in my opinion, because might as well make them 137. Who cares? Do you have any English vintage? Because it's all based off of one concept about whether or not he was allowed to do that. Do you have any English vintage Lugia cards? I do, and I was just waiting for you, Mr. Carlos. No, I think they're all gone. I think they've all been claimed, but we might have more in the future, okay? If you charge Trump, then you have to go back and charge the last 4 presidents. He's going to be arrested and charged on Tuesday. Yeah, I think a Trump mugshot will probably help him actually win the election. I think it will actually make it easier for him. The problem was that Trump stonewalled the Justice Department when they wanted to get the files back. If he had cooperated, it wouldn't be this bad. Well, he probably stonewalled them because he's saying, no, I have a right to do this. So it's going to be challenged in court, but it's going to be a fight over whether or not he has the legal right to have those documents. Look up the pictures of what they found. This man had a bathroom full of boxes. I don't care. Yeah, it might as well be 2 bathrooms full of boxes. Indictment went before a jury already. A grand jury, they can't just do it. Just pulled Altard Aerodactyl V from last... You know, you might as well tell me you had 3 bathrooms full of boxes. Go read the documents. All right, let's go ahead and get the names here. Yolan to Jampins. There's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5. Yolan. I'm still... What did he do that was so bad? I'm still waiting to understand that. Because this... Let's say you got the average voter. What did he actually do that was really bad? Oh, my God. We're going to have to throw this guy in jail. Here's Drew Hogan. Hey, mister, can I get 1 Disney and 1 Simpsons? 1 Disney, 1 Simpsons. You got it. We got 1 and 1 Simpsons. He's on the record bragging, telling secrets to people. A bunch of political experts in this chat exposed the truth. That's what will take him down if true. I thought this was a giveaway channel. I'm pissed. Where's the giveaways? I'm here for the free ones. There we go. Boop. I'm still waiting to hear what did he actually do that was really bad. Maybe read the document when the stream is over. Well, you guys got the document in front of you. What did he actually do that was really bad? I know you guys are freaking out because it's like there's 37 indictments. It was a whole bathroom of files. We go, that's my boy. They were nuclear documents. Didn't the Clintons sell like nuclear information to Russia at some point? We have no idea who's made this mess. God help me. Last one to the breakfast table is a wimp. I can't do that sound effect. You said left. Bart with the submarine. Anyone seen Maggie? He showed strangers top secret documents. Put this in here. Okay, that's the allegation. I mean, I guess if he bragged about showing it off, that'd probably get him in more trouble, but I don't know. I feel like I just don't care that much. Space, when they found out Biden had documents, he just said, come get them. It was Trump who made it difficult. Snip. All right. Toss this over here. I see Sunfan, pull it Marshall. All right, you ready? Here goes. Oh, Ursula and Pirate Bay. Let's go ahead and sleeve these up. It was the nuclear codes, I swear. I suppose what will happen is we're going to hear the arguments in court. That's what I'm a lot more interested in at this point. I want to hear the arguments in court. That's a pretty stupid reason. What about the Hillary emails? Right, she never actually went to jail, did she? Hillary, she was moving a lot of private information about our government on her personal email account. And then when they said hand it over, she physically destroyed the information. So maybe he should have done that. I don't know. If Trump has the reprint schedule for Pokemon, he should leak that. I'm waiting for him to leak the Pokemon secrets. Now, but I'm not trying to defend Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump, but I'm just saying I'm still waiting to hear the terrible thing he did. She's a crook. All right, there we go. I think that he didn't think he was doing anything wrong. He did not think he was doing anything wrong. I don't think he was trying to get in trouble. David Fillardo says, slab away that Tyranitar. David, this is a non-hollow Tyranitar, just to be double clear. Let's go ahead and slab it away. Okay. I don't understand why people foam at the mouth over Trump. It's ridiculous. Isn't the Hillary kill count like 50? People are actually buying the, quote, classified documents BS. I don't think anyone would buy into it, but here we are. Biden wins re-election and then resigns because of his age to put Kamala in charge. Here we are. David. Mr. David Fillardo. Okay, let's see. You're going to go right here. June. This is going to say PSA 10 Tyranitar. It's a nice card. Mister is a big fan of Bernie. I love Bernie. Funny man. So this goes down to 220. Oh, You sent 40, so you're short $5 actually. Okay, well that's fine. We'll bring this down to 225. All right, that's fine. It's not a big deal. I love Bernie Sanders. Give me some Bernie. I trust Jack Smith. Ivanka did the same, though, with the emails, so did other Trump advisors using non-government emails. Also, Bush lost millions of emails back in the early 2000s. Trump is, this is exactly what Trump was charged with. Willful retention of national defense information, false statements, and obstruction. Well, I think that the reason he didn't give it back is because he believes he's allowed to hold it. So I get that he's charged with those things. He doesn't believe that he's actually in trouble or that he's actually done anything wrong. So again, if the entire precedence of the indictment is based on an idea of what a president can and can't do, he's going to take that to court and challenge it. And if they can't prove without a doubt that he did break some kind of rule that way, they're going to lose the court case. And then they'll have to go in and they'll have to change the rules to say specifically, no, you may specifically not hold on to these documents or declassify them at this point in your presidency or whatever, right? So they're going to have to say that. They're going to have to write the rule a lot more clear. If the rule's not clear enough, he's going to end up winning. He's going to say, look, the rule wasn't clear and I didn't break any rules and they can't force me to give the documents back because I can declassify them if I want to. Jeff Leon says, Siggy Time 3. Oh, Siggy Time. 3 Hollow Lives and 2 Paldeas. You got it. No RH. Thanks, man. There we go. 2 Paldeas. All right. At this point, when I vote, I'm just going to write down Macho Man Randy Savage. My pocket was fatter when Trump was president. Bias destroyed the economy. I would say that he made the cost of gas more, and so that's unusual. That's not necessary. We're energy dependent again. Here we go. Scaladurge, you did it. Hey, it looks pretty nice too. What a nice looking Scaladurge. Jeff Leon. Do it. Okay, and pack number 2. Pack number 2. This Tyranitar is pretty lovely, so you're going to keep that anyways. They're just trying to exhaust the Trump administration. They've been coming at his throat for 7 years because they're scared of what he'll do to these criminals. I somewhat agree. I think that they view this as an opportunity to try and damage his reputation. And so they're saying, this has never been done in history, but let's take him to court over this. We're going to indict him over this. I think that's the goal. I think the goal is to kind of prosecute him and make him look like a criminal. So it's a political move. And honestly, it's called jailing your political opponent. It's like what other people have been saying in the conversation here. He's not the first president to take classified documents with them. Other presidents have done it and not been thrown in jail or anything for it. But they really don't like him, and they definitely don't want him to have a chance of running because he's got a fair chance of winning, actually. He might actually win. And so this is their strategy. They're like, well, maybe we can damage his reputation or physically, literally. Oh, look at that. The signature is there. You were right, Jeff. Signature time. All right, and there's a holo. Very lucky. All right. All right. I understand Trump stopped it initially. I thought this was a safe place. The documents contain info about Epstein Island. Did they finish it under Biden? That's all it. The Democrats are new age communists. Biden and Trump are both clowns. Well, to be clear, Biden's a way bigger clown, right? Because Biden is senile. He cannot even finish his sentences. He's a worse kind of clown because he's completely, he's gone. We need any other president. It could be a different Democrat. It could be a Republican, but it's got to be anyone else because Biden cannot even finish his sentences. He tries to shake hands with people who aren't there. He falls over constantly because he's so old that he can't stand anymore. He's 100 years old. It's time for somebody who is not like great-great-grandpa for the 1940s to run the country. He should have retired, and just enjoyed retirement. He shouldn't be running the whole damn country. Here's Jeff Leon. Jeff, that was a great round for you, Jeff. All right. Biden licked my leg hair and gave me a lollipop. I watched Trump's speech. He's still based. Trump has been the only president since JFK that was not part of a group with special interests. Right. Well, maybe he should be part of a group because then he wouldn't be harassed so much, huh? I'm just kidding. I'll vote for Kanye. Oh, right. Remember Kanye wanted to run? He was asking he was asking Trump to, like, be his, like, vice president or something? That's funny as hell, dude. We're checking ZELLE. ZELLE time. Okay. By the way, did we do that? Andres Milker? Yep. So I don't see any new ZELLEs. Somebody was asking me about ZELLE. Also, let me see what... did Emiliano say anything new? It doesn't look like he did. Okay. I think we got a short line at the moment, guys. Great conversation. I think it's a really fascinating topic. Honestly, I think it actually helps him run for office. I think that people are going to get really upset over what's going on. They're not going to accept this. I'd rather take a jar of almonds as our president over Joe. Kanye is an idiot. I sent 2 ZELLEs, says Vix. Vix, they might be on a delay or something because I'm not seeing them. I sent 2 ZELLEs. Did anyone else send a ZELLE? All Kamala has is boobies, nothing else. Okay, here we go. Kamala is surprisingly very bad at speaking. Very bad. She is a terrible public speaker, and her job is public speaking. So I don't know how she got into her position. She probably got into her position because of she had the right skin color. That's a terrible way to run any country. It's actually very racist to run a country that way, right? Like, why would we accept that? There we go. You should not be running a country where the leaders are chosen because they have the right skin color. That's what racism is, in my opinion. Whoa, holy hoochie mommies. But her job is public speaking, and she's horrible at it. But she gets to be vice president. It's mind-boggling. It's really mind-boggling. Richard Silver, sexy carbs. I don't know how blind someone has to be to really think Biden is the right choice. Dude belongs in a retirement home. He does belong in a retirement home. Absolutely. He is too far gone. So Victor Alvarez says he sent ZELLE, but when I refresh, there are no ZELLEs. So let me log into Bank of America. Biden makes us look weak. I completely agree. So I'm logging into Bank of America. Here's Matthew Pena. Here's Andres Melkor. And yeah, I'm not... here's Hamain. I'm not seeing the purchases in here. So if you sent it on your side, it's not arrived on my side. See the Anthony Hamain order. I bought a SGC 10 and it had bad damage to the back of the card. Makes me not want to go after any more SGC cards. Oh, very interesting. So what you're saying is you have an SGC where the card is graded well, but it was not graded correctly. That's either because SGC standard was wrong, or it was because someone made the wrong label. In other words, the card was scheduled to receive like a 7 or an 8, and then instead it accidentally got a 10 printed for it. Now, believe me, I've seen that for other cards, graded by PSA and graded by BGS. Maybe the difference is that people do not scrutinize PSA 10s as roughly. Does that make sense? So I got lots of PSA 10s where they got white dots or lines on the card, and if I sell it, it's going to sell, because people buy the grade, not the card. But with the SGC, it's trickier because there's going to be a higher standard where people will buy the card, not the grade, right? Because they're going to worry about being able to convert it over to a PSA 10. So maybe the moral of the story is if you go after SGC, look over those pictures real careful before you hit the purchase button. Space Jesus, you really think when Biden walks in a room with world leaders, he commands the room? No, I know somebody who did, though. Biden makes us look weak. Funko says, I wonder if Biden tucks. T-Rich says, more like affirmative action. Jordan says, I think a lot of people struggle with cognitive dissonance. Victor says, didn't we have our last president who had no experience? DP Fitness says, who's really running the show with Joe Biden? It has to be someone else. Remember that one comedian? It was a black guy. It was a comedian. And he asked Kamala Harris, who was on his show, he says, all right, who really runs the country? Remember that? And she got really mad at him because she was on screen. We could look it up if you never saw that. It was a comedian who had Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, on his show. And he, just dead asked her. He said, who really runs the country? That's what he asked her. And she got all pissed off at him. She was like, how could you? She's like, that's a racist lie. All right, Hololive. It's like, well, it's probably not Joe Biden. There's no way. Just wish people on eBay took better pictures. Couldn't see the damage. Definitely. Well, the guy who's selling it knows that there's damage. That's why it's for sale. That's the whole point. So in order to sell it, he's going to take a picture that conceals the damage. Well, I guess one thing you could have done is the moment it arrived, you could have contested it. That's typically what I do with eBay. I contest right away. They want to groom because they are freaking blankos. It's crazy how parents allow that stuff. I think Hunter Tux. Have you ever seen Biden naked? If you just got an eBay return policy, yeah, try to do an eBay return policy, even if it was like one of those something guaranteed cards, and be like, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You should be like, the seller should be required to take better pictures before they're allowed to sell this. The card is clearly damaged and it is a misgrade. So you can make that argument. I think I've done that before and I think I've won. Here it is, Mario. I've contested a lot of items I've purchased because I don't put up with any silly nonsense. Because you run into a lot of stuff like that. Oh yeah, I had it was a Gengar graded by GMA. And when it arrived, it was obvious that the Gengar would be a much lower PSA grade. And so I immediately opened up a return request. And I told eBay, now be careful. Don't just ask for a return. You have to open an actual dispute. Very important. You have to open a dispute and say that the seller lied. And you'd be like, you see, the seller took pictures at a certain angle to make the card look more centered. So you take an example of one of those pictures. And then you say, if you hold the card straight forward, now you can see it's terribly off-centered. And then you'll say something like, the seller was trying to pass it as a 10, but it is in fact definitely a 9. And so one of the things, you got to get kind of legal about it. So look at the posting for the SGC card and pay attention to whether or not they said like PSA or PSA 10. And if they say that, what I would do is say, the seller told me this would be a PSA 10, and it's clearly not. The SGC card is damaged. This will not convert into a PSA 10. And so they have lied in their listing, and now I should be allowed to return it. So if you say all that, I think they'll give you the return, but you gotta post it like that. You gotta take good pictures. It takes a little effort, but I'm that kind of busybody person where I'll go through the effort and twist the seller's arm and be like, oh yeah, you're gonna lose this because I'm going to really fight it. But that's what they do. So if you have somebody who, they probably did the same thing you did. They probably bought the card thinking it was a great card, and then they found it was damaged, and they said, all right, time to pass the hot potato on to the next guy. And you're the next guy, and so you have to fight that. Do not come. Do not come. I arrived today, already started return. I would assume Biden's body looks like a naked Mr. Burns. It's all distractions to cover up the fiat crisis. You meant fiat. Go look at the world debt clock. It's a countdown to a complete shit show. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Did you see the SAR Blastoise Charizard Venusaur from the Japanese set? Oh, so the SARs are now revealed? I'd love to see those. I love the Blastoise. Gives Dark Blastoise vibes. Are you talking about the trainer gallery type cards, or are you talking about the super rare SARs, right? Mister, saw your video. When did the gray hair kick in? Oh, I've had gray hair since I was 18. Yeah, I've had gray hair the whole time. What has happened is my hair has receded ever since I turned 30. So I have less hair than I did when I was younger. And so that's what I look like with the less hair now. I saw your video. When did the hair kick in? Thanks, mister. I'm really happy I don't deal with a lot of American buyers. I always message the seller, warning them I'm going to open a return dispute. Feels like a nice way to start a return. So maps is okay with you, mister. What's a map? Oh, I know what it is. That's the whole minor attracted person, right? So they started saying that because they don't want to say pedophile, because their argument is that it like turns them into a bad person or something like that. The word does. No, that's pretty bad, man. Obviously, we create rules for the age of consent. One thing you can try to do is just debate what the age of consent is. You can say, oh, it should be 19. It should be 18. Here in Missouri, it's all the way down to 17. And I've heard there's other states where it's 16. Okay, so that's a thing you can debate. You can say, hey, this seems to be kind of a gray area. Why don't we all just agree on one age? But the whole minor attracted person is like this really gross thing where they're like, they're just attracted to children. That's just how they identify. You know what I mean? It's like, well, they've identified wrongly. You can't identify that way. We won't allow it in this society. But, some countries, it's even as low as 13. But I think they've even changed that in those countries, right? I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure places like Germany and Ireland and Japan had it as not Ireland, Italy, Germany, Italy, Japan had it as low as 13. But then when you dig deeper, they have more like state rules, the effectively what we would call state rules. They have that. They're like different jurisdictions, smaller, what do they call those? Provinces, I think, where the rule just basically copies what America's doing. So then it jumps to like 16, 17, 18. And so it's a very similar rule around most of the developed world, where you can't have sex with really young kids because they're just not smart enough. They're not developed enough. You're taking advantage of them. But that's a new thing. The latest thing is that we don't want to call pedophiles because it's taboo, and it's because it's almost like an accusation, and so they want to start using the word maps. And conservatives argue that it's a stepping stone toward legalizing pedophilia. That's what they argue. And I would say it's somewhat probably true. Knowing how sexual America is, it's probably true. You know, they could argue that we're just trying to destigmatize it, so that you could argue, let's destigmatize it so that the people who need help can come out and get help. Because if it's too stigmatized, they'll never receive help, right? But you could easily argue that, well, the real reason to destigmatize it is because they're trying to legitimize it. They're trying to normalize it. And knowing how sexual people are, that's probably more the case. It's a really weird thing because I think Democrats are very sensitive on this subject themselves. So it's not just conservatives who don't like pedophilia. There's a lot of Democrats who get really, really, really mad at a certain kind of relationship. They hate it when successful older white men have younger, hotter girlfriends, and they say, he's a pedophile. He just wants hot young women, right? So they're sensitive to that kind of stuff too. And it's not just the conservatives. So I don't really know who supports it, but it is kind of an odd thing, isn't it? There we go. Blanking ridiculous, man. Mister, in other countries, people have arranged marriages with a person younger than them. Florida got the death penalty back for pedophiles. People who think they need help. Just like crockheads trying to convince people that methadone is normal. Crackheads, I think you meant. There's a lot of sex offenders in my area. Over 100. Doesn't affect you at all. Pedos should get blanket injections. Yeah, so obviously, I think that killing people goes a bit far, right? So I don't agree with that. I think that it takes it too far. But jail for life, or, some places practice chemical castration, stuff like that, those kind of things, I'm more open-minded to. But I think that just straight up killing somebody for that, it just feels like it's too far for me. You guys get mad at me for that if you want. I think you have to reserve the death penalty for crimes that are about death. So somebody has to kill somebody in order to get the death penalty. Mario, let's see, Mr. Mario, here we are. All right, that's eye for an eye. So I believe in sort of like an eye for an eye kind of justice. Mario, I got your box. So eye for an eye requires you to actually do something that murders somebody in order to murder them back. It's very simple form of justice, and I'm a simple man. Feel off for the young 13-year-old girl that has to sleep with the blank 70-year-old man. I feel like America is gradually turning anarchist. Now maps? Big Tony, yes. The government supports methadone not long before they support maps. If they're not going to die, they need physical castrations. Okay, see, so now we can talk about something like that, but I wouldn't go as far as capital punishment. Capital punishment's got to be reserved for people who committed a murder. If you committed a murder, capital punishment. You guys ever heard of the woman called BB Guns? She is my new crush. Look her up. What? Next, are you advertising girls? She says, 3 busts. I'm about to bust. Here we go. I think that once everybody agrees on a legal age of consent, it has to be a pretty serious crime to break it. And then if we have good, real evidence that you broke it, yeah, maybe you gotta lose your pee-pee or something. I don't know. Pretty severe crime. Okay, you ready? Because you're messing somebody up sexually for life. You're gonna affect all their future relationships and how they feel about love and intimacy. So it's pretty serious. Cheese, they were all cold. Oh, Mr. Cheese, how could it be? eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. Yeah, I really think that's a stupid statement. It's like a dumb sort of like. Are we back? Are we back? Are we back? Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Touch my daughter, you're dead. Yeah, the whole eye for an eye leaves the world blind is like a clever saying. I think it's kind of childish, though. You know, what it really does is it doles out real justice is all. So somebody who doesn't like justice might come up with a statement like that. Oh, it leaves the whole world blind. No, it gives real justice out, which we are not all about these days. I feel like we don't do real justice anymore. You could do really horrible crimes, and then they just, maybe you get a few years in jail, and then you're out. And it's like, you're out and about to do it again. Go, throw this away. You can see it like murder is like killing the personality of that child, girl, boy. Yeah, but it's not actual murder, right? So, murder is murder. There we go, Richard Silver. Doo-doo. You can lock them away for life. You can cut their pee-pee off. I don't care about those things. But murder, if you just start applying murder to all the things that really gross you out and make you very angry, I feel like it stops being justice. Let me ask you, where does it stop being justice? And where is it just sort of like vengeance? You know what I mean? Where is it just like revenge or retribution? Because I feel like in order to legitimize justice, legal punishments, you have to say, we have a measured way of doing this, a fair way of doing this, and it's not necessarily about how pissed off or emotional we are, but it is about handing out real justice. You know what I mean? So you have to be measured on it, I think. You have to murder someone to get murdered. Oops. If you were to rape somebody and there's real good evidence for it, like inescapable evidence, maybe you lose your pee-pee. That's pretty good justice, I would say. I'd say, like, use your pee-pee in the wrong way, lose it. Society takes your pee-pee away. Yeah, go around, you know, graping somebody. No more using your pee-pee anymore. What do we got? Whoa! Blankos get killed in jail all the time. You touch a little boy, girl, that's crossing the line. All right, but that's jail, okay? So, you know, that's, if somebody in jail takes you out, they're not supposed to do that. Jail is not some system where other inmates are the executioner. It's not supposed to work that way. I don't believe in paying taxes to keep those people alive. You're taking the innocence away from a child. The line stops after murders and pedos. Beat them with a 4-foot plank in the blank ass. Tony, I don't want my taxes paying for them to live. Well, and you wouldn't have to pay for them to live if you didn't lock them up forever. You know what I mean? So that's why we're sending them to the island. We got a little island where there's no way off of it. You drop them off in the jungle and you say, good luck. There we go. Ta-da, Richard Silver. Cold boobies, says John Silver. I'm sorry. Captain Silver. Master, I'm in the restroom paying the ultimate Taco Bell price. Can I get some prayers? Let's all pray for Eduardo Vargas, because he is having the Taco Bell runs. Dear Taco Lord, please save Eduardo. Amen. All right, who's next? Mr. Athim 10 Crystal Revenge. You got it. Yeah, you had like the whole Epstein Island thing going on. We still don't know who was there, right? How did they manage to keep that information secret? That's 7. You're telling me that our government never got a hold of the information? No, our government definitely got a hold of the information. They're not revealing it to us. They are not revealing to us the Epstein Island information. Actually, you know, it would be relevant if Donald Trump was on Epstein Island doing stuff. We'd like to know that very much. Oh, what's this? Am I out? Am I out of Crystal Revenge? Do I put... Oh, it's over here. Okay, never mind. Not quite out. Almost out. Running low on Crystal Revenge. We want to know who was there, but they won't show us. I'd sell my Pokies to hunt them all. They've kept that information private somehow, huh? We just kind of, as a society, we just kind of sit back and let them. They've got that information. You don't think they have the information? Of course they do. Ooh. There we go. Protecting each other is what's going on. All the most powerful people probably went there, and now they're protecting each other. I bet you people 100 years from now will know, because it won't matter anymore. There we go. Bill Clinton. Yeah, that one, you know, it's weird. That one wouldn't even shock me. I'd just be like, yeah, of course Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton's a dog. You ready, hit them? Okay, you got number 100, Numeron Dragon. Biden was there with Hunter, so no one will tell. Wouldn't that be crazy if that was the truth and somehow it got revealed? Man. Advanced Crystal Beast. That's what makes people feel like burning down the White House, burning down the, the Capitol Hill, because it's like you're so done with it. You're so done with politics being so, like, effing twisted. Odd Eyes Phantasma Dragon. You no longer consider the government your legitimate government anymore. You're like, yeah, I'm not into that. I'm part of this militia instead. Advanced Crystal Beast. Epstein maybe isn't dead. It's a way for people to stop asking questions. Here's number F0. Sure, there's some people who are saying, oh, well, he never died. They just swept him away. They hit him. Here's Koeki Myru. Koki. I can hunt the bills and the wills. Evil Twin. Yay! All right. Sweet. You never know, man. You got him. You got him. Yay! Mr. Them, I apologize. No Super Starlight Rare in there. Let's grab your box. Who knows, man? But that information is still private somehow. Why would it still be private? That's odd. Didn't they get all of his information by now? Stephen Mitz, one Blaziken spot. Of course they have the information. We're just not allowed to see it, that's all. Bill Gates is enemy number 1. I kind of like Bill Gates for his accomplishments. I don't know much about him anymore. I don't pay as much attention. I know a lot of people don't like him, though. He's bought up all that farmland. Very creepy. Let's take a look at this Blaziken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm blown away by about the alien deal. That guy's got to go, says Big Tony. Okay, so Blaziken, 1 Gengar spot. If that's gone, put me in the poker card. Send me in, coach. All right, you got the last one. Stephen Mitz. I haven't really kept up with what Bill Gates is all about. There we go. I did hear that one of the reasons why Bill Gates was happy to see Epstein go was because Bill Gates was having a relationship with a very young Russian woman, and Epstein was going to blackmail him over it, and then now he's dead. But also I heard that she wasn't actually underage. It was just an embarrassing thing. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's not private, mister. Whistleblowers now have immunity if they testify about aliens. Oh my god, dude. Oh my dog. There's definitely aliens. Oh my. Who do you think built the pyramids, bro? They also have video of these people sexually compromised. That's how it works. Naked pictures of Bill Gates mid-orgasm. Whew. That would be pretty bad. Okay, give me a number. The next pandemic going to affect children and be more deadly. Like, how the F do you know that? Mister, where is queso? I want some queso. Epstein isn't dead, though. I've seen UFOs before. I need a number. Oh, there we go. Ruben says 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Where do we put this here? No, we normally put this over here. So Nathon 1, Nath Rainer, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, 7, 8. Oh my God, 9. Oh, Richard Silver strikes gold. Whoa, that almost went to Steven Mitz on 10. Richard Silver, you sniped. Mr. Delay in. Did it break up? It was Richard Silver. Richard Silver won. Who saw it? Richard Silver was the winner. Apparently, we're having some lag spikes, people. I'm sorry about that. Richard Silver is the winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Do we have anything cool to put up there now? Here's that Pikachu. Pikachu! Oh, I like this Snorlax. Easy Snorlax. Okay. Opening my box of Paldea. Got to get Grisha Art. Another Gaifu box. Oof. Oh, got both Grisha Arts. So I'm assuming you did not want those. You just don't like femboys, huh? Sounds like you're a racist. Send him to the re-education camp. I think we need 14 spots, right? Lovely PSA 10 Snorlax Reverse Holo from Hidden Fates. He is actually kind of like a 4-year-old card now. It's pretty old. Okay. Jonathan Wang, 1 live, 2 Azure, 4 sneaker. Wow, those girl card sets just sell, man. Okay, 1 live custom. Zubat, Zubat. That's cold. 2 Azures. 2 Azures. 4 sneaker bunkos. 4 sneaker bunkos. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not liking how many reverse foils you get now, almost the same height as a bulk pile. That's why I'm saying, man. That's why it is an option to take your bulk with you, your holos with you for an extra $1. It is no longer a thing where it's just assumed you get the holos every time, because it is a real problem for the table. Since you were homeschooled, how did your parents make sure you met the proper curriculum? They didn't. My homeschooling was garbage. I didn't learn anything. Yeah, they just tossed some books at me, said, teach yourself. And that's literally what it was. I'm not exaggerating. They took some books, gave them to me. My mom said, schedule yourself to learn these for the year. That's what she did. She gave me like a little scheduling booklet, and she said, now create your curriculum. And then she gave me a stack of books and said, you have to learn these this year. That's how it worked. And then I would sit down and I'd say, all right, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. She didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to do it, right? I didn't like pick the good chapters out of the book. I didn't know what I was learning. So I just scheduled all the chapters throughout the school year. That was it. That was my education. It was trash. I learned nothing. I learned absolutely nothing from homeschool. Whoa, that's a pull, Jonathan. That'll be a chase card. Here we go. That is the full art Booby Girl, the etched version of the card. Lovely, man. That's going to be popular. Mr. Reading Russian VHS manuals. Yeah, I didn't learn anything. And what's odd is that it did not stop me from graduating with the computer science degree in my school. Anyways, it was a very difficult degree full of really high-level mathematics and constant big challenges. A lot of people failed. By the end of it all, there was like, so if like at the beginning of it, the classes were full of like 40, 50 kids, by the end of it, there were like 13 kids left maybe. Almost everyone failed the computer science courses. There were only a couple seniors left by the end of the course. It was real tough, and I was one of them. And I look back on that today, talking to you right now at the age of 34. I look back on that, and I go, how important was high school? I was like, you don't actually have to have high school to succeed in life. Like, maybe it helps. I think it helps. But there were kids who are from high school all around me dropping like flies in these math classes. And it's just because they didn't sit down and do the homework. That's all it was. You just sit down, read the stupid book, and you figure it out. And if you're having trouble, you go on YouTube and you figure it out. So in the end, the logic that you use for high-level math is no different than the logic you use at high school math. So you just sit down on a computer with the teacher that you can rewind and fast forward over and over again until he explains it, until you get it, and then you read the book and you're done. So I feel like high school and middle school and kindergarten are important, but I feel like they're woefully far behind technology. And you are wrong to think that you have to have those things to succeed. You do not, actually. I'm living proof of that. You don't need those things to succeed. You maybe don't believe it. Like, maybe it is so well sort of droned into your brain that you have to have those things. Like, it would be so crazy if you didn't have those things. You're an idiot to say you didn't have to have those things. But here I am with my computer science degree, perfectly fine. I had like a B average probably, and I watched a lot of high schoolers fail those courses, and I didn't learn anything because I didn't have a high school, and I still graduated. So I don't need anyone else's opinion on the subject to know that, it's, wow, what is this? Jonathan Wang killing it today. Holy hoochie mamas. This is why these sets are popular. Look at this. Wow, man. Look at those tights. Oh my gosh. Crazy, man. Those are so sexy. There we go. All right. Congratulations. But yeah, I mean, I'm living proof for myself to know that it wasn't necessary. It's weird. You'd think if somebody missed high school, oh, there's no chance for them. And it's like, not at all. Doesn't matter. You just go do right? If you're going to go take advanced algebra, if you're going to go take linear algebra, or physics, calculus 3 or something like that, you just sit down and start working on it until you finally get it. Wow, what a day, man. Look at this round. Holy, man, I don't even think we can show this off. It's too sexy. I think YouTube would be like, that's a little sexy. Okay. Once again, that's for Jonathan Wang. Mr. Jonathan. Here we are. $115 card says hit them. Shoop. Everyone chasing after those sexy girl cards. So we have a John box up here. Jonathan, you're going up in this John box. Okay. Wow, milk truck just arrived. What? Your bag is now up top. Okay. So now we're going to show the next order. It's Jeff Leon, 2 Holo Live, 2 Paldea. 2 Holo Lives. From a social standpoint, I think it's important to greet on everything else, but I'm 31 and still have great relationships with the friends I made there. That's true. I did make friends, though. I made friends primarily at the Homeschoolers Association, so I did make friends that way. And I also made friends at work. I made a lot of friends at work, but I don't see any of them anymore. Yeah, we all kind of moved away from each other. Here it is, 2 Paldea. All right. Yeah, so you can say that socially it's nice to be in school for the social experience. I don't necessarily disagree with that. But if you just want to be successful, you don't need to go to school to be successful. What you need to know is exactly what you need to know in order to make money. And then you need to know nothing else. Nothing else contributes to that money making. Everything else just sort of, it's sort of like, maybe like having perspective on the world or history or being well-spoken or being able to talk about snobby issues, you know what I mean? Like some Shakespearean play, right? But that's not necessary to get wealthy and successful. And so if you had to measure the important things in life, I'd say the hardest thing to accomplish and the most important thing to accomplish is to be able to say, hey, I can afford my own home. I can afford to retire. I can afford to have children. I can own 2 vehicles. I can go on a fancy vacation. So it turns out the more important issue is, can you get into a successful career or start a business? That's the harder thing to accomplish in life. And only some aspects of school probably contribute to that. And so you need those things in your life. And what's funny is the public schools, I don't think they actually help you out with that all that much. I think they just kind of waste your time. If I had to guess, because the most important thing I did during my high school years was learn how to run a little business from my dad. My dad has started a little business on eBay, and I learned about e-commerce from him. I learned a lot about it, and that was really actually important. It was hands-on education because it was really happening right in front of my eyes. It taught me to believe in what could be. I could see it with my own eyes, the evidence of how it works. And there's something about that opening a book and reading a book. There's no equivalent. The book can't do it. Only real world experience can do it. A girl with boobies is a milk truck. Oh, I see. Trainer gallery mouse hold, horribly off-centered. Damn you, English! Bullies and racists are mean at schools. How's Paldea Evolved? Pull rate any good? Paldea Evolved. It's been decently popular, more popular than Scarlet Violet was when it came out, because there were virtually no orders for that when it came out. What time is it? 2 o'clock? Okay, just letting you guys know the line is nice and short. We got Caleb Ibarra, 4 Ghosts of the Past, 1 Disney. Mr. got Reading Rainbow canceled. Reading Rainbow. Da 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 da. In a book, you take a look. Reading Rainbow. Reading Rainbow was awesome. I don't have anything against Reading Rainbow. Okay, put this over here. Take a look at a book. Best thing at a school was free lunch. That I own a trainer card, even in the uncommon, is very hard to pull. Okay, 4 Ghosts of the Past. Haha. Throw that away. All right. Nostalgia, yes. Reading Rainbow. That was a cool show. Sneep. Sneep. Actually, you know what I remember the most as a kid when it came to like educational material? I remember when I was working for my dad. I started working for him at like the age of 13, and he would leave conservative talk radio on, and I'd listen to these talk show hosts speak every single day for hours. I'd be in the garage working for my dad, listening to them talk, and I felt like that actually also was a part of what would later become my interest in doing what I'm doing now, you know, so like speaking into a microphone all day. So it's weird because maybe those guys kind of gave me an interest in the speaking as a career, or maybe I just realized I had a great enjoyment of it. I guess I could have changed the radio channel, couldn't I? I could have changed it to music, but I went on to listen to them anyways. So maybe it was just part of my personality to do that. But it was a sort of like training, because you would listen to them speak, and at the same time you would just sort of learn how they were clever at speaking. And there is a cleverness to speaking that you can develop as you get older. The Agent of Life. Whoa. Mister, that's how I grew up too. You listen to Rush Limbaugh, yeah. And I'd ask my mom, I'm like, who's Hillary Clinton? She's like, oh, this evil woman. My mom hated Hillary Clinton so much. She'd be like, Hillary Clinton supports abortion. Hillary Clinton supports sexual stuff that's bad, you know. And I was like, listening to that, all right. As a kid, like, wow, she really doesn't like Hillary. Mister, that's how I grew up. All right, let's grab this. You know who was my favorite, though? It was actually Bill O'Reilly. I don't know why. I love the way Bill O'Reilly spoke. Love the way he sounded when he spoke. What you just talked about is exactly what I started. This fireplace business. Here we are. And we'll grab this. Bill O'Reilly had a really nice way of speaking, and it always affected me. I could almost just listen to him speak and not really know what he was talking about. I just enjoyed the way he sounded. It was seeing the hands-on and how much to be made. Definitely. Okay, we got Andres Alonso, 2 Dragon Lades. Lades, huh? Yeah, I would help my dad, and he would show me things. He'd be like, look at this, Derek. And he'd show me some like 40... No, it was like 14, sorry. Like some $14,000 bill. And he'd be like, this was our cost of the wood. We spent $14,000 on this product, so now we need to sell it for like $20,000. And I'd be like, oh. He's like, so here's all the wood, and you're going to chop it up, and you're going to turn it into $20,000. When you list it, you have to list it at this price, or else we're not able to profit from it. I was like, oh. So I was learning that as a kid, and I was playing around with like listing prices and how to make a product more viable, how to find out what was sort of like trending, what people were interested in, what does the consumer want, what makes the consumer happy, right? That's in the end what you're trying to do. Like a restaurant's trying to make you happy. What will make our consumer happy? and that's why you go and you willingly spend money at a restaurant. You even love restaurants for it. You go, I love this restaurant, even though it costs me money, because I've got money and I want to entertain myself. I want to enjoy myself. So I was learning those concepts from him at a young age. I was only like 13 years old. Andres, Mr. Andres. And I opened up a PayPal account at the age of 13 because my dad was all excited about PayPal and eBay. And so I was learning about PayPal and eBay when I was really young. Not a big Hannity fan, but Rush would just speak to me even as a kid. Rush Limbaugh. Yeah, he's passed away now from lung cancer. And he was all right, too. I don't know if I cared as much for Rush Limbaugh. I heard all of them, though, definitely. There was Glenn Beck, who's still going at it, too. He's got, like, a YouTube channel now. And I remember my mom would actually like Glenn Beck, but I would listen to Glenn Beck, and I'm like, this guy's kind of crazy, right? There was Michael Savage at night. Michael Savage. And The Enemy Within. Remember that guy, Michael Savage? So Michael Savage, he was sort of like, I don't know, he was sort of like paranoid. Haha, there we go. So if Glenn Beck was more like conspiracy theory, Michael Savage was like, he was definitely paranoid. They're about to get you around every corner. Sean Hannity was more like a traditional conservative talk show. He was the most boring by far. And I really liked Bill O'Reilly because I felt like Bill O'Reilly kind of engaged in a lot of debate, and he wanted to sort of play around with the ideas in the debate more. You know what I mean? So I really enjoyed Bill O'Reilly's very casual tone, but very sort of like fun interest in the actual issues. But I don't know, there's probably people who didn't like Bill O'Reilly at all. Glenn Beck is a doomsdayer. Yeah, exactly. I read Glenn Beck's book, Agenda 2021. You can be the sun and not be sure of the rain. Night quote from D's Nuts. Bill is great and is on Beck's show a lot. Bill O'Reilly still has a show on YouTube, and I don't really listen to it, but I have listened to it, and it makes me miss my childhood, being in the garage covered in sawdust and covered in sweat in the summertime. In the summertime, it got so exceptionally hot out here in Missouri in the summertime. My dad taught me to take a big, kind of like a giant bucket with a big ladle in it, and I'd pour water all over myself during the summer so I wouldn't overheat while I work. And then you'd be covered in water and in a garage full of airborne sawdust, and you would be caked in sawdust. It was absolutely disgusting. And then you would just work all day long in the heat, and that was my summers. And then I would look out from my garage doors and see boys my age playing like football or soccer or street hockey, and they'd think I'm some big weirdo because all my family does is work. And that was like a whole setup for me for life, basically, like experiencing that, being on the working side of things. You know what I mean? So, and here we are now. I'm still working. I'm working on my weekend. Octavio Melendres, 30 for my snap away. Okay, you got it, Octavio. Mr. Octavio Melendres. 238 remains. Let's take a look at the rest of your order. For Paldea, you got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Okay, and these are going to be no reverse hollows. I don't know. They're all kind of Republican neocon mouthpieces. They kind of suck. Yeah. That term neocon, also known as rhinos. I know what you're talking about, right? Like, for example, Bill O'Reilly, he's against Putin. He supports the war in Ukraine. Yeah, so they all have different opinions. But I liked the way he sounded. It doesn't matter what his opinion is. I liked his voice. I liked his... I learned as a kid that talking's almost like singing, right? It's a little bit like singing. Because when you speak, it's not like you just talk like this all the time and transmit data, right? You actually have a sort of like personality in the voice. And Bill O'Reilly, he had like this really interesting tone where I just wanted to listen. It hooked me. And I said, wow, so you can talk and talk so nicely that it hooks someone. And I was learning that because I would be listening to these talk show hosts all day long. And I really enjoyed listening to talk shows. I liked keeping up with the news and understanding what was going on in the world. I liked that as a kid. I liked that very early. I was introduced to Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton politics very, very early because my parents were interested in politics too. They constantly talked politics. And so I got sucked into that, and it was enjoyable. I actually enjoyed it. So there must be some little political aspect in my family. There must be like a little political bone. The way some families really get into sports too, right? Some people have like a sports interest, and it just seems to come to them. So politics, I think, just ends up coming to me somehow. Shoop. I'd rather be working than playing anyway. Something about that cash. I didn't even make money. That's the thing. Like, my dad paid me $3 an hour, which I would then immediately spend on Pokemon cards. But it was terrible money. So you'd work all week, and then you'd get paid like whatever, 3 times 40. You know, you'd make like $100. As a kid, that was a lot. At 13, picking up $100 check from your dad was kind of a lot of money. But at the same time, it obviously wasn't, because you're out there working all day long. But it was almost like a chore, like you were going to do it whether you wanted to or not. Does that make sense? Like, you were going to do the chore whether you liked it or not, because it was making money for our family. And so there were 11 children in our family. So we were this close constantly to failing to pay our bills, failing to have money for food, and failing to pay our mortgage. We're this close all the time. And my mom was always, you know, she was always threat level red, insanity levels of stress. And yeah, so I would be out in the garage, away from my mother, away from the rest of my siblings, you know, because I worked alone mostly. And I knew that I was providing money for my family, so I just felt like I was doing the right thing. And I'd be out there at the age, I did that all the way till I was about 17 and ran away from home. And yeah, but that was almost like a peaceful place to be, was instead of inside of the home, you're outside of the home, away from all of the violence and the screaming, constant screaming. I hated loud noises. Here we are. I hated the screaming. Should have worn protection after the 3rd. I was the 3rd, so I'll agree with that. Shut up, mister. When you're running for your city or town senate, I don't know if I'll ever do anything like that. I get you, mister. I've listened to them all too. Rush sounded good. O'Reilly 2 sounded good, but they were they were cucks. We all vote. Should have wore protection. There are no better than Stephen Colbert. So, mister, you legit left without even saying anything to them. I left like a ninja. Yeah, I absolutely disappeared and just never spoke again. Very shocking, very dramatic. Richard Silver says 4 Azures. 4 Azures. Here we are. 1, 2, 3. And 4. There we go. I heard before but forgot. John's boss keeps up the good work. We all appreciate these amusing streams. Oh, no problem, man. You live on the street, mister. I did briefly. I lived on the street. It was the summertime in Missouri. So in the summertime, it's very hot and it's very uncomfortable. And there were these bushes hidden in a field, and I could just sleep under these bushes somewhat comfortably, but you'd wake up and you'd have like mosquitoes all over you. You'd have ants all over you. It was absolutely disgusting. Missouri's not a good place to be homeless, but I was young and healthy, so I was able to do that. And then what I could do is I could go over to the library during the daytime. They had air conditioning, they had a water fountain, they had a bathroom, and so I was able to do that. And when I left home, I had a little bit of money, because one of the things I talk about is I was like this. I was this really consistent hoarder of money. I was a real consistent saver. So I loved to save money up. And I think I had I might have been just around $500 when I left. And so I left with some cash. So anything I needed, I could actually just go purchase, like food, clothing. I bought a bicycle. So I bought a bicycle so I could travel around, because I couldn't have a car at the time. And yeah, so that's how I got around, and eventually I applied over and over and over again on the computer at the library, and eventually got a job at Target. That was my first job, was Target. And I wrote down my parents' address as the place I was living. And I remember being so nervous in the job interview because I'd never had a job before. I'd never had a real job before, but they had no idea how extreme my life was, like all screwed up. They had no idea. So I felt sort of like this person who couldn't talk about it, but it was like, if they only knew how crazy my life was right now, you know what I mean? Richard Silver. Like, I was in the interview saying, oh yeah, I need this job so bad, you have no clue, my life is in tatters. But you couldn't say that, so you had to pretend, oh yeah, hi, nice to meet you, I'm normal. Nice to meet you, I'm Mr. Normal. I'm just here to do a normal job, because I'm perfectly normal. So it was very stressful in that way. Mr. Hatim, 5 clay bussies. I felt sort of like a person who is lying about their identity. That's what it felt like. You don't have contact with your family? I could contact them, but we don't talk. So I do not have contact with my family. There we go. You need to write a box. I'm going to write a box. All right, there we are. Yeah, I always had this really terrible feeling like all the people around me had a much more normal life and normal family life. And it wasn't a good feeling because it felt sort of like, how do you even talk to them? You know what I mean? Oh, how's your family doing? Oh, you guys had a 4th of July barbecue? Yeah, I live by myself. You know what I mean? My family's insane. We don't talk. I've been alone for the last 5 years. So that's always, it's difficult. It makes you feel sort of like an orphan or something. We need a Mr. Family Reunion special episode. You don't talk to any of your siblings? Yeah, essentially, no. May I ask why? That's really sad to hear. We hated each other. We were a very, very violent family. It was, so you ever hear about like these large homeschool families, really large ones with like 15 kids or something like that, and then someone escapes the family stronghold or something like that, and then you find out they were living in squalor and it was terrible. That was basically my story. I was the same group. Yeah, I was in the same group. The parents were like full-grown kids, basically, and they were not well-suited for what they were doing. It's not like they were super children handlers, like they're so skilled at having children and taking care of them. No, they were terrible at having children, and they were just out of control having children almost. But they were doing it for religious reasons. They believed that that was what they were supposed to do, is have as many children as they could. So that's what they believed. And yeah, but they were not well suited for having so many children, emotionally, psychologically well suited for having 11 children. So, you know, you hear about those kids who escaped giant families, and it turns out the family was secretly very bad. And that was my story. I just didn't get the news media or anything like that. There was no book or anything. So for every one, you know, kid who escaped a family like that, there are other large families where that happened too, and the kid never wrote a book. You come from a polygamous group. No polygamy. It was just mom and dad. Yep. And there were other really large families just like that. Actually, there was one family called the Hannigans, and I was really good friends with the Louis Hannigan in St. Louis. I loved talking with them. And he had an oldest sibling who had ran away and never returned. And I always thought, when I knew Louis, I always thought that was extremely strange. And it's so funny because that's my story now. I'm the oldest son who ran away. So he had an oldest sibling who ran away. Oh, look at that. You did it. You got the Gumby deer. SAR. Wow. Mr. Hathim, how about that, man? Coming out of Clayburst. Beautiful. Oh, man, that's crazy because a couple people have been open Clayburst, so a couple people have been chasing this. Ooh, shiny. Mr. got out and got Pokies. You should write a book. Why not? I probably could. I don't really want to. Deesna says Catholic. Yes, it was Catholic. Sounds like the Duggar family. Exactly. It was something like the Duggar family. You hear about these unusually large families, and you're like, look at all those beautiful children. And the children are all smiling. They always look great in the pictures. But then behind closed doors, you find out the family is really abusive and crazy, and it's not a happy story at all. And then one of the kids runs away and kind of starts to explain it all. Like, yeah, this is insanity. And so that was my childhood. That was me, because I had 11 siblings. It was the same deal. It was mom was like, she was just crazy. Dad wasn't necessarily in a good place either. There was money problems, a lot of violence, a lot of very severe violence. If I wrote a book, you'd hear about all the violence mostly. And but you know, to their, I suppose one good thing I could say is they didn't kill anybody. You hear about parents who like drown their kids and stuff like that. So, you know, they passed that bar, I suppose. They didn't kill anybody. So they didn't drown any of their own children. So that's nice. Because you hear about kids who get drowned, and my parents never did that. So you could say my parents were better than that. But it's a pretty low bar to clear, isn't it? Mr. Hathim. My mom had 9 brothers and sisters. My mom is one of 10, and my wife's dad is one of 16. But for them, it had the opposite effect. I couldn't think of being without my immediate and extended family. Yeah, I'm 34 now. It's been like 17 years. I've been alone as long as I've been in a family. You could get your video transcripts and write one off that first. Oh my gosh, that's why I tell my parents, thanks for not killing me. At least no poison. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, you know, my mom was so crazy, I could see her like losing it and just killing us all or something like that. You know what I mean? So I think back on it, I'm like, she was really crazy at some point. And so I'm lucky that she didn't do anything like that. You know, I think they meant well. That it just probably is the stress. I try not to take it personally. I think that's important, is to not take it personally. Like, what if you were in her shoes? Constantly pregnant. She was pregnant every year, right? She was pregnant every other year. She would get pregnant for 9 months. That was a whole year. And then maybe like 6 or 7 months to a year would pass. So the baby would be about a year old. And then she'd be pregnant again. So she spent most of her life pregnant. And she was just crazy. She was crazy and pregnant all the time. Crazy, pregnant, and almost broke all the time. Just shy of not going bankrupt and being on the streets with all her children. So, yeah, she was constantly stressed. And she's probably going to die young from all that stress. 3 holo lives. Yeah, I try to put in perspective. I try not to take it too personally because I feel like, you know, she just wasn't a person who was well suited for having so many children. And yet she chose to do that mostly because of religious reasons. Again, the Catholic Church is like, oh, no contraceptives. They took those rules very serious. No contraceptives. And then, you know, they're always in the bedroom, so they're always making a new kid. You could literally just get your video transcripts. At least no poison. Hold that card to the moon. Mister, there's only one SAR in a box, right? Has your wife met any of your family at all? No. She briefly met one of my sisters. Yeah. Do you know if they're still alive? They're all alive, yeah. I heard my dad had a heart surgery. They say pregnancy brain makes them nuts, so all the time must be even worse. Dad thanks church for the amount of sex. Mister, think you had a rough life? Imagine what type of lives your parents had to endure. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. So, you know, maybe their lives were a little crazy too, but no, they're the bad guys in this story. Trust me. Like, there's just stuff they did that you just don't do. So it's like, you know, if they could have had somebody watching them, recording their behaviors, you know, they would have gotten in a lot of trouble. Really bad trouble, actually. They would have gotten in very, very bad trouble. And so it would have been like the children, I guarantee you, would have all been taken away if the public could have seen what my parents were doing in private. But lucky for them, that did not happen. And they scared the living poopies out of us about telling on them. Because one of the funny things is, they were constantly telling us, you can't tell Child Protective Services. They'll take you all away. They'll put you into random houses. You'll never see each other again, and you'll get abused by the people that they send you to. So they were constantly scaring us about the government and about, particularly, something was on their mind a lot. Child Protective Services was on their mind a lot. Why would they be so concerned about that? Is because they know their behaviors were so bad, they would be taken away. They know it. They had a guilty conscience. That's what it was. You didn't answer my question, Mr. Hathim. We don't talk about pull rates. We don't talk about hot boxes, cold boxes. You gotta ask someone else, okay? Wow, that's effed up. Same, I just forgive and forget. I'm happy as when I think of tomorrow, not yesterday. You could try to, like, forgive and forget. Here's the problem. So, like, you know, it's been a long time. It's been like 17 years. This is the problem. I have all these memories, and they're really horrible memories, and you just can't get rid of them, you know? So you're stuck with these awfully violent, horrible memories, and they are very good at making you not interested in any kind of new relationship with that kind of person. You know what I mean? So, here's great. We were talking about, like, pedophilia or something like that. Imagine somebody did something to you that bad. You're not just going to go forgive them and then hook up and be friends with them and buddies with them in the future. So you can be bad enough to a person where they can forgive you, but you're not going to be friends with them anymore. You know what I mean? And so you can be violent enough to a child to do that as well. Violence can reach a level where it's like, yeah, you know, we don't need to talk for the rest of time. Therapy? All right, I'm going to therapy. Alex, who is that in your profile picture? Mister, your parents haven't me yet. Haven't what? Jeff Leon. You got belly bolt. Boop. I think I could have used therapy straight out of coming out of the family at the age of 17. And I think it would have made life a little easier starting out. I think over time, I've figured things out pretty well. Mr. I had a similar life, and it's why I don't want kids of my own. You should definitely have kids of your own, everything, Bagel. Don't let your parents' mistakes be the reason why you don't have your own children, man. That's a bad conclusion. Yeah, everyone should have kids. Okay, we got Ruben, 1 South Park. South Park. South Park. Aha, I found it. Oop. Yeah, that's like letting your parents' bad behavior decide if you succeed in life or not. I actually experienced that a little bit too. One of the things my parents wanted me to do was to go to college, right? And because I disliked them so much, I wasn't going to go. So it was like an act of rebellion. But as I got more mature, I said, listen, you can't be so angry at somebody that you rob yourself of being successful. So you got to go. I'd rather adopt some kids who need help. Nah, man, you got to have kids of your own. You can still adopt, but you got to have your own biological child. There we go. Ruben. You ready? All right, what we got? I think this is the Cartman's mom is still a slut. Jesus and pals. So, Mecha Streisand. Wait, is that what it's called? No, it's called Pink Eye. I'm sorry. Oh, Tom's Rhinoplasty. Hold on. The card fell nicely. There it is. Starvin' Marvin. No, Starvin'. Mr. Mackey. That's my papa. Big A Owls, Big A Boat Ride. Oof. So not the craziest round. When you open these packs up, you're looking for, like, I think Mr. Mackey is nice, actually. Let me put that to the side. I would say you're looking for the main characters, and the main characters can have, like, a card that's just for them. Like, there'll be a card that says Eric Cartman. But then also, you're looking for the holographic card. There's a holographic Kenny card where Kenny gets killed. I want to see the pictures, Alex. They actually got pictures. Is easy. Okay, it's 1997. That Pikachu is a good price for a pristine. That's what I'm saying. That's a nice Pikachu. I'll put him in the live customs in like 2 seconds. $228 for that 9.5. Sheesh. Keep in mind, nostalgic Pokemon, that I might have priced it a long time ago. And so its prices might need updating from since then. See, like, look, see how the ink's kind of like fat here, but then the Pikachu has thin ink? That's because they were given prices at different times. I'll take it down for now. Keep that in mind. These prices, these get rotated off the table, and then they sit in a box for a couple months. And prices really fluctuate because sometimes the market, all of them get bought all of a sudden, or, you know, a bunch more come onto the market all of a sudden. So the price really fluctuates. Ruben. And I just haven't taken the time to reprice it. Oh, by the way, I'm going to be having an exciting time tomorrow. We're picking up our boat finally. Tomorrow we're picking up our boat, everybody. I am super excited. We went to Walmart today and we picked up life jackets. We got life jackets, we got ropes, we got sunscreen. And what's going to happen is they're going to put the boat in the water and we're going to drive it all the way home. It's a really long drive. We're going to drive the boat, in the boat, all the way home. Whoa, Sunfan's here. He wants a whole box of Disney. Wow. Ta-da. Don't bully the ZELLE boys. If you found out something serious about any of your family terminally ill, would you reach out? My siblings, I would. My parents, I would not. I don't really blame my siblings, but man, we were not nice to each other. We were all pretty mean to each other. I liked my 2 oldest sisters. And then I have like younger siblings where I don't even know them. They were so young, we don't have any memories together. So, you know, the youngest siblings, I could even see myself helping them financially if they ever really needed it, you know. But I don't even know what goes on in their life. I actually had my youngest sister, reach out to me this year, and she was like, "Who are you?" She's like, "Nobody told me what happened," because apparently she found me online, and she's like, "I don't even know who you are. I have no memories of you." So I had because when I ran away, she would have been about 2 years old or maybe 3. So she has no memories of me. I'm like just this person that exists in the wild to her. Who are you, says Alex. Thanks for the invite, mister. All right. Mr. Sunfan, let's get that steamboat. So, and that's because there's so many kids, you get this really big age difference at some point. So she was 2 and I was 17. Now I'm like 34 and she's like 19 or so, 18. I don't know how old she is exactly. This goddamn degenerate is expecting to pull double willies. I respect it. What? You found a co-host? I don't know. That'd be really weird. Also, I don't want to be friends with somebody who might still be friends with my parents, essentially, right? So see, I'm going to guess that she still has a relationship with my parents. No, she does. I know she does not have a relationship with my dad because she's legally not allowed to have a relationship with my dad. So she only knows my mom, and I don't know how well she knows her. So I don't want to be, I don't want to be reintroduced at all. I'm comfortable, guys. You don't understand. I've been out of the family a long time. This is my lifestyle. I like it. She's like my older brother is balling. Let me see what he's up to. Legally not. Yes. At some point, there was a big investigation into my family, and in order to keep the children, my mother was my older sister told me all this. My mother was required to divorce my father to keep the children, and then he is not allowed to talk to anybody. He has to be away from everybody. Don't blame the child for what the parent did, Gandhi. All right, here goes. What do we got? Whoa, Beauty and the Booties. She says, turn back into the beast. Whoa. And here's Iron Man. They had to get divorced, and then she had to take like therapy classes or something like that. And if she refused to do that, they would take all the children away, I believe, is what I was told. That's what I was told. And there was an investigator who wanted to talk to me, but I turned him down because I didn't feel like it. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Maybe I should have, but I think I would have just gotten everybody in more trouble. And I don't know if that would have been good or bad, because I heard what was going to happen. I was like, all right, that's fine. That already sounds like it's fine the way it is. Oh, here we go. The Disney stamp. Do you trust me? I will show you. I will show you how to freaking fall off of a flying carpet. Could you imagine being on that carpet like above the clouds? I'd be like, we're going to die, bro. Willie after every 40 cases. Sorry to hear that. Femboy on the dance floor, beast in the sheets. Wow, no Willie. Well, mister, I don't blame you for not wanting to go back. Yeah. So eventually Child Protective Services caught wind of all this stuff in my family, and my mom lawyered up, and the lawyer told her that in order to keep the children, she would need to immediately divorce my dad and go to therapy. And I guess that's what she did. And so I do actually know some news in my family. I have an older sister. We sometimes just share information over Facebook, like what's going on. And so she got to keep the children, and then promptly every single child ran away from home. So I wasn't the only one. Every single child ran away from home in the end. So every child ran away. And so I don't think she really changed. I'm pretty sure she probably just took those classes and got out of there and did the legally required things. You know what I mean? Here you are. Mister, where do babies come from? You got spit out of your mom's pussy. Here we are. Disney pumps out more tramp women, but says they are wholesome. Your parents were probably scared after you ran away, thinking you were going to snitch. I didn't even know how to snitch. I didn't know snitching was a thing. I mean, I thought of myself as sort of like breaking the law, sort of like I wasn't old enough. Not only did I not know I could have snitched, I also didn't know that there were government programs that helps kids under 18 like myself who were basically running away from my family or from your family. So I didn't know there was government support for kids like me. I didn't know I had no like concept of the outside world, because we were Catholic homeschooled, but what we really were, we were like locked up in that house basically. So my parents kept us away from the world and away from understanding how much legal trouble and what could happen to them if the government actually knew what they were doing. But they were constantly saying like, oh man, Child Protective Services will take you away if you ever tell the cops or something. You know what I mean? Here we go. Wise words from a religious leader. Do any of your siblings know that you do this card shop? Well, apparently the youngest sister found out. She was shocked because she saw me on my TikTok, and she's like, oh my gosh, I've never seen you before. So she'd never even seen an image of me before. She'd never seen what I looked like. And then all of a sudden she could see me because I, face reveal on TikTok. Which is funny because one of the reasons I never wanted to face reveal was to sort of remain anonymous from my own family. And but so she found me that way, and she's like, dude, I don't even know who you are. And we talked for like 1 day, just kind of, I got to hear some stuff about what's going on in her life. And I basically just told her like, yeah, so I ran away when I was 17 because mom and dad were crazy. And now I'm doing pretty well. But, you know, we didn't keep talking or anything like that. I didn't push the conversation at all. And I think for her, it must be a really weird life out there. You know, she's got all these siblings who ran away from home. She's got siblings she's never even met before, you know, because she can't remember me at 3 years old. And I got basically a very bad picture of home from her. She's like, yeah, mom's abusive. You know what I mean? But it doesn't matter. She's the youngest, and she's at the age of 18 now, so it doesn't matter. She's leaving. So she's going off to college or whatever she's going to do. So there, you know, there's no child protective services at that point because you're not a child anymore. You could stay in touch. Well, yeah, I could stay in touch, but I have no reason to. CPS don't do their job half the time. I work closely with them. How does she know it was you without never seeing you or your voice? I got no clue, Alan. Actually, probably she knew it was me because I look like my other siblings a lot. So if she saw me, let's say she searched my name and it returned like TikToks or something like that. If she saw me, she'd be like, oh, I'm related to that guy for sure because he looks exactly like my other brothers. You know what I mean? We all look actually really similar to each other. It's pretty easy to identify as being related. There we go. They probably used the name, mister. Yeah, of course she has my name. All right, that was fun. Won a whole box. That was for Sunvan Fan. And we got some really lovely cards. You actually got 4 etched cards out of here, which is interesting because I feel like normally you get 3. You get Remember Me and Aladdin stamped card, and then 2 more. This is where Belle realizes she's made a large mistake and wishes she had the beast back. She said, give me back that beast. Okay, Sunvan Fan. The very first time they had sex in bed, she said, oh no, bring back the beast, bro. What have we done? You're just a normal-sized man now? Ugh, gross. Box of Disney. Sunvan Fan, did you have a box of your own by chance? Let's see. Sunfan. Oh, here we go. There's an SO box. Probably this. No, a too reliable source just because you just look alike. What? Here's Steve, Stefan. Oh, no. What have we done? Can you turn back into the beast? Sunfan, I don't remember. Do you need a new bag? He didn't say new bag. Oh, I found you. I found you. Here we are. You had a really big bag. Is your sister single? Asking for a friend. You're funny, Dabu. It's funny because she looks very Filipino. I look white. She basically looks completely Filipino. I showed John her, and he's like, well, she looks like me. I was like, yeah. She does. She looks not like she's white. I look more white. I think I probably look more like my mom. All right. But it's funny having siblings that look extremely not white at all. All right. Well, we're out of orders. We are only 2 hours in, and there are no orders in my queue. Let me log into PayPal, just make sure that it's not like an email issue. Why is Alex? Dabu wants into the card family. Into the card empire? This is a card empire. There we go. Just want to be a brother. Oh my God. Let's see. So there's a Sunvan Fan order, really large one. And then Jared Everett right afterwards. Japanese Gym Break poker card. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so this must be that order. Nope. Well, hold on. I got to refresh. Click. Okay, Jared Everett, Japanese Gym Break. Yeah, I'd show you guys a picture, but then you'd probably go harass her. I don't want that. Jared Everett. I think that would be very annoying. That would get to call Mr. Bro. Does any of your family know about the card shop? I think they do. If I had to guess, they're probably nosy. Probably wonder whatever became of me. Yeah. When I graduated from college, I remember all the families gathered around their, sibling or child, and they're all like hugging and stuff. I was all by myself, just graduating by myself. One poker card. They never knew I graduated. They didn't know I became successful on YouTube. All that's been kept secret, you know what I mean? One poker card. The poker cards have been removed from the menu, so they're not for sale anymore, but I will get you the next one. Are you ready? Here you go. Last poker card, because these aren't for sale anymore. Ooh, you got this guy with the bushes on his back, whose name I forget. This was very interesting, mister, to learn more about you. Yeah. Jared Everett. All right, Mr. Jared. Impulse is crying. Impulse, you're not even me. You're all weepy. No crying. Real men don't cry. I'm just teasing. Whoa, look at all that. Show up and say you want out to get milk. Oh, you went out to get milk. Oh, I'm back now. You're probably the most successful out of them. I am the most successful out of them. Because I've, again, I do have an older sister who I can talk to on Facebook. She was the sister who was closest to me in age. We got along really well, actually. We didn't fight too much as siblings. So I've heard about, sort of like the status of my other siblings, and some of them are doing quite poorly, actually, which, why would that surprise me? They come out of this really crazy family with really not a very good support system, maybe not very many good skills, and plenty of emotional problems from, being in an abusive family. And so they don't do well later. Like, what a surprise. Canadians drink milk from a bag. Mr. tosses a pack of cigarettes on the table and just sits down. Mr. I won myself 100 2018 Korean Pokemon cards on eBay. Very nice, John. Sandslash says, lol, McChump. Dabu says, I'm sorry to hear that, brother. Yeah, you've married into the family somehow. You're funny. Yep. All right, let's see. We have Cybershop, 1 pack of Crystal Revenge and 1 pack of Ghosts of the Past. You got it. Crystal Revenge. 1 Ghost of the Past. It's the evolution of the Tortree line. I don't think Tortree is the right word. Tortilla. Someone opened a Tyranitar tin on stream. 1 pack of Evo had a Moonbreon, such a log. Some of them like meth, huh, mister? No, I haven't heard of anything like that. But financially, they're not well off. Please don't forget to check ZELLE. My investor counting on it. Yeah, let me check ZELLE because ZELLE wasn't working earlier. Somebody told me they sent... Yeah, I still don't have any new orders in ZELLE. Have you guys been sending money through ZELLE? Because I don't see any new ZELLE orders. I don't see any new ZELLE orders. I'll show you my... Yeah, there's just not... They're not popping up. For only $2.25 plus shipping, no one else bid on them. Nice, man. Yeah, sometimes that happens in auction. Just another reason why I don't like selling in auction. It's too risky. There we go. So I would warn you guys, ZELLE doesn't appear to be working because I'm not receiving your orders on ZELLE. You're falling prey to the card goblin. Were you homeschooled because of how abusive your family was? They didn't want you snitching or something. My parents were afraid that if I went to public school, I would sort of lose my Catholic upbringing. So they were very concerned about making sure that I was very Catholic. And much of my homeschooling was just Catholicism. So learning about the Catholicism and reading the writings of Pope John Paul, which, ironically, looking back on it, he was a pretty well-spoken writer, and I enjoyed that, even though I didn't learn anything else of any value. But, he's an inspirational guy. Pope John Paul, he's a smart guy. But, yeah, so my college education was definitely a joke, and they were just worried that I would go to school and... maybe I would end up having like sex before marriage, which I did tons of that. I did a lot of that in life. So all their fears came true anyways. I'm no longer Catholic, and I've done many of the bad things that they're scared of. And so this was just their... Oh, no! No! What is this? Oh, don't show Mr. Caleb Ibarra the Eye of Timaeus. What is this? I turn my head when I yell so I don't spin on the card at all. Did you guys know that? I bet you didn't know that. The Eye of Timaeus. Wow. 5-cent card, says Alex. Unbelievable. Slow, bruh. Caleb was going so deep, this guy pulled it on one pack. Oh my God. You don't have to be Catholic to accept Jesus. Here we go. Revived King Hades. Well, let me go a little further. I'm not Christian either. There we go. I'm glad you made it through the hard times. Yeah, I'm through the hard times. I'm in the better time of my life now, guys. Everything was going a lot better after I got into college and met my now wife. Did your parents believe in the flat earth? No. And the first few verses of the Bible explains how our universe is a firmament. No, they don't believe in that. They also did accept evolution too. They're like, evolution's a thing. Yeah, one thing was true about my parents, as crazy and I would say abusive as they were somewhat intelligent. My parents were well-spoken. My father was college educated, actually, so he was college educated. He had his college degree. And if you tried to argue with my mom, she was extremely good at arguing. It was very hard to argue with her. Cyber Shop. Did you have a bag, Cyber Shop? Here we go. Let's see. Here we are. I made it through, but I'm broke now. What do you think your parents think about gays being accepted by the Pope? Well, Pope John, you're talking about Pope, what's his name, who's having his intestines out? Pope Francis. The tone is that he wants to accept people and love them. He's not saying anything like the Catholic Church officially acknowledges gay marriage. He wasn't saying anything like that. Pope Francis also did not make it moral to use contraceptives either. So he's done neither of those things that I know of. But I can tell you there's a lot of Catholics who think he's a terrible pope and he's got to go. They're like, he's too liberal. He's got to go. So there's a lot of fiercely conservative Catholics who don't like him because he seems too liberal. And the funny thing is he's not even that liberal. When you actually look at him, he hasn't really changed any serious rules. He just sounds liberal, and that's all. And yeah, so my parents would have been against LGBTQ completely because, you know, there's like some really clear Bible quotes about God destroying Sodom and Gomorrah, you know what I mean? And homosexual men laying with men being an abomination. So they would have just been like, says it right here in the Bible, man. Right? So that's what they would have done. For them, it would have been very easy. They'd have been like, there's no confusion over this. It says it right here. This is an abomination. All right. Oh, are we back? Do you guys see how, like, when we have these disconnects, I am still able to actually message you guys in the chat room? Like, you can see it. When it was down, I said, oops, hold on. So I said lag spike. That's because my internet wasn't actually down. That's just Streamlabs. That's just the Streamlabs app saying, oh, oops, lost your connection. You know what I mean? So that is not actually my internet doing that. That is Streamlabs. But we are getting that whole setup hopefully soon where we can have a landline that travels to directly to our router. Hopefully that gets rid of this. Mel Chang says, been happening in a lot of streams. You mean a lot of my streams or a lot of people you've seen online? We back. Yes, we are back and we have no orders. If you guys want the stream to continue, I got to have some orders. Otherwise, I'm going to pop off and go relax, man, because I would not mind having some freaking free time. I guess what I could do while we're waiting for an order to show up is maybe I price up a slab or something. Look at this beautiful card. I think we do this as a break. What do you guys think? Inteleon VMAX deck. Wait, so this was... Oh, very interesting. Hold on, let me look this up. Oh, so the high class deck is actually cheaper. I see. Huh. It's still an unusually expensive card. It's called the high class deck. Let me see. Sold. It's a lovely card. Weird, it doesn't really go for much as a, wait, what's this? No, that's the English version. Huh. It's weird because it says 500. I need to see sold. What about PSA 10? Okay, so there's one for 500, one for 600, but let me see sold. That's interesting. What prices did we work out on this? I'm looking more into this card because I agreed to a price with Mr. Emilio. Okay, so let's see. Let me see this card real fast. Beautiful color. Looks like a giveaway card to me, says John. You're funny, John. All right, let me take a look into this. This is called Cosmic 221. So this is a bit more of an expensive slab then. Let me try PSA 10 on this. So this was part of our deal too. Oh wow, that is a pricey slab. What the hell? Dude, when did this become so expensive? Oh my god. It's got no white dots on the back. What they give it? 9.5, 9.5, 9.59? 9 for centering? Dude, that's some harsh grading. Really? Got a 9 for centering? It looks not that bad at all, actually. Maybe it's this point and this point. I'm tempted to crack that out, send that to PSA, try to get the 10. Was this graded a while ago? When was this graded? You know, it makes me think it was graded a while ago. It's got the wobbly label on the inside, so I feel like the wobbly label occurred in the past, and they kind of fixed that later. So these two cards were the majority of the value, the cards that Mr. Emilio sent to me. I got all these cards from him, so we got to sell all these. Some of these are quite junky. Schoolgirl, Sylveon, Charizard, Pikachu. What slab breaks do you currently have? Yeah, so we've got this Snorlax 10. There you go. Snorlax 10, 1 in 14. We have a blue poker card for this Tentacruel. This will probably be more popular than the Snorlax because it's cool, it's vintage, it's blue deck. It's blue deck, it's pretty cheap for blue deck 10. I'm sorry, blue deck 9.5. We have this Naughty Girl. Nobody has jumped in, nobody has started it. I could put it away for a while, I suppose. We also have this beautiful 1935, almost 100-year-old Mickey Mouse card. So that's started. There are people in that waiting for it to end. Okay. Rand's birthday. So you can contribute $1 to this to get it paid down, and then I give this to Rand for his birthday. If you contribute up to $5, then I'll put your name next to the donation so that Rand knows who sent it. Okay, so those are the slab breaks currently. Also the Blaziken right in the middle. All right, we do have some orders coming in. Cybershop. Oh, wait. I think we already did that one. Hold on. Let's try that again. I'd suggest crossing the Arceus. I will either cross it or let someone else cross it. Roger Gray says 5 absolute discord ponies. You got it. You've gained many strengths through leaving home and independent, but if you had to choose a flaw of yours based on your upbringing leaving home, what would it be? You mean like, what am I bad at, or what do you mean? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you had to choose a flaw of yours based on your upbringing leaving home, what would it be? Oh, well, you know, having such an abusive home turns you into kind of a troublesome person to have like an intimate relationship with. So like all my early relationships were pretty rough. $10 towards my Slowbro. You got it, Roger. Okay, Roger. Roger. Okay, Roger Gray. This goes down to 50. And now let's open this. I didn't realize that those Disney cards are from the 30s. Illuminati confirmed. Yeah, those are from 1935. Mickey Mouse bubblegum card. Traits, habits, personality, that kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to know what is nature versus nurture. Like, what is just in my base personality versus how am I really? For example, one trait that I took with me after I left home, I lost all respect for authority. I have zero respect for authority. So anytime I see somebody who's in a position of power, a politician, a priest, a manager, a parent, doesn't matter to me. You have no more special status to me because of your position than any regular person. And that's because I learned that I had to reach that point. I had to conclude that in my mind in order to be able to reject the way my parents were treating us and be able to leave home and be like, I don't need them. You know what I mean? So when I see a politician, I go, wow, you really have to have something that you're doing that impresses me. And then you gain my respect. But the fact that you're a politician does not impress me at all. And you don't realize how strongly affected you are by authority until you reach that point of almost feeling disgusted by authority. Here's risky business. Whoa, you got risky business. All right, I don't have any respect for the rules. I don't have any respect for authority. And I almost dislike authority because I just feel like I feel paranoid of it. You know what I mean? So I have that sort of paranoia. And yeah, it's not a surprising thing, is it? Yep. Okay. Rainbow's Epiphany. All right. I have a pretty low view in general of... I have a low, not a low view, but let's say it's very fast to lose my trust. You know, if you fail at something, I go, all right, so I can't trust you. I reach conclusions on people faster because that was another thing in my family growing up. If somebody treats you wrong and you just keep putting up with it, you keep putting up with it, you keep putting up with it. Nowadays, as an adult, if somebody's done something like abusive toward me or unkind or unfriendly or not right, I go, just cut you right out. You know, if I'm able to break up with my family, I'm able to break up with a non-family member like that. You just don't matter to me. Like, I'm done with you. I have no interest in you, and you're gone from my life forever. You know, you're banished from me mentally. You're gone. So, and I think that having that sort of mentality hasn't really necessarily been super good for my marriage. You know, our marriage is actually doing pretty good lately, I would say. But, you know, early on in the marriage, I still had that sort of like, I don't need you sort of personality. Like, I could leave and feel nothing. You know what I mean? Which I think was true. But I realized over time, like, that's not normal. You're not necessarily supposed to be that way. I learned to be that way so that I was able to leave a bad relationship. And so it's sort of like that whole damaged by bad relationship concept. And I realized if I wanted to have this be a good relationship, you know, you can't be that way. You can't say that stuff. Certainly you can't say that stuff. I could leave you in a heartbeat and I would not shed a tear. And then I will replace you in 2 seconds. Your head will spin at the speed that I'll find another person to replace you with. So that kind of language. And I think I'm believable when I say that stuff because everything I work on very, very, I put a lot of effort into the things that I work on. Roger Gray, did you have a box? You had a box in an odd spot. If you like the Kardashians, I don't like you. Here we are. Mr. must be a Libra. Out of interest, what's everyone's most expensive Grail card that they own? I've got a Pikachu. Sort of cold. Yeah, it's a little bit cold. That's actually a great description. And it shouldn't be that way. So, you know, we might have been in fights in the past early on in our relationship when we weren't even married, where we would have bad fights, and I might say something like that, where it's like, listen, man, I'm not going to put up with your shit because I can just go. You know, I'm not going to miss you more than I missed my family when I left them. And you know, when you say something like that, they go, oh, he's probably right. You know what I mean? Like, he is a little bit cold. But I got older, and I'm like, you know, that's kind of like not a good kind of relationship to be in. I wouldn't want to date a girl who says that to me, like, I could leave you tomorrow. So I don't do that anymore. So, right? Bob, you asked me a question like, what are some personality flaws from coming out of an abusive family? And that was one of them. That's a personality flaw. That's not a good thing. Yeah, it's a personality flaw. All right, here we are. It's secretly still true. I can leave it in a heartbeat. Yeah, you never actually recover from that in a way. You do have to be a little cold to be able to walk out of a family like that. There we go. But. Members only, members only, members only. That's all I see. I don't get to see the emoji. I just get to see the text. Okay, so let me get a price on this card. My best card is the Rainbow Chunky Chew. We're going in deep on this one. I enjoy talking about it. Here we go. All right, so this is a 9 tops Charmeleon. I would say another thing, I'm very aware, I'm very careful, I guess you could say, of trying not to be like my mom, because I recognize, as I get older, I recognize her sort of, she had a sort of like OCD terribleness where things needed to be done competently. That's what she was all about. She's like, this has to be done competently or you guys are in trouble. And I realize I have that too. So it's almost like this militantness where it's like, do this right or you're F up. You know what I mean? And she was very, why did I give this a big sticker? It didn't need one. I was just putting a regular price on it. She was, her expectations were so severe. Like, it's almost like she forgot that we were kids. She thought we were adults, and not just adults, but very competent adults. So it's like you couldn't mess up a chore or you would just be like beaten. And if you weren't beaten, you were definitely talked to in such a severe way that you felt like emotionally beaten up. And so I realize as an adult, I do that. Well, I'm not saying I do it now, but I'm saying I have done that in my past relationships. I've done that when we fight. So, you know, they say words can be like a dagger. The dagger comes out, man. And I'm very unusually good with that word dagger, because whatever it is you're insecure about, I'll just get right to the heart of that and then just peel your skin off with that dagger using those words. And it's maybe something you learn to do in a large, violent family. So in a large, violent family, nothing was more cheap and easily accessible than incredibly hurtful words. And you can try to figure out what is the vulnerabilities or weakness of a person and then just immediately start playing on them if you're fighting. So there was quite a lot of horrible talking in my family, and that's part of what happens in a very abusive family. 6 places evolved. Mr. Hathim, you got it, man. Places evolved. Really horrible words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know the word sticks and stones? I don't really believe in sticks and stones because you can use words that really F a person up. You know, you can say things about them that are really terrible. You think you're going to be a firefighter one day? You'll never be a firefighter. You're disgusting. You'll never be a firefighter because you're stupid in the head. You're not smart enough to do that. And the other people will look at you and think that you're pathetic and you're a loser. And your life will be terrible and nobody will love you. You know, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I want to be a firefighter when I grow up. You know, you disgust me. So there's a way to say things that's really so horrible that is pretty much just abuse, isn't it? And maybe you come out of a family like that being too aware of how effective it is and maybe a little bit good at it, but it's being good at a bad thing. And that will ruin your relationship. You ruin your own relationship with your bad words. And then when you're no longer angry, you'll be like, what have I said? What have I done? But words are sort of like a non-violent violence that you can put on somebody and not get in trouble for. And so that's the trouble with it. Rabska, that's his name, Rabska. Hello, mister, I'm watching while I shower. That's true. I cared about words when I was at school. Yeah, so, I mean, you can go around with the sticks and stones mentality, like, oh, you can't affect me with your words, la, 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 la. And that's somewhat true, actually. The bully himself or herself is less affected by the words. But if a bully finds somebody who's still good-hearted, let's say, somebody who hasn't been absolutely destroyed and ruined, the bully can go in and do a lot of damage to that sort of innocent person. And so I came out into the world with those horrible words, sort of. Whoa, this guy's looking tough here. What the hell? Quackaval, looking more like Daddy Vol. Why does he look so tough here? Oh, his head's combed back or something like that. Looks totally different as a result. That's a double gold star. Mr. Attacking My Firefighter Dream. Well, I never forgot that one because my brother, who's 2 years younger than I, were fighting, and we were very young. We must have been about 10 years old or 8 years old, and there were really strict rules around violence in my home. So if you hit somebody, you would also be hit. The punishment for hitting somebody was severe beatings. So I learned that was maybe a turning point in my strategies for dealing with my brothers. And I learned that you can say such horrible things that they start crying, but you can't get any trouble for saying bad things. So as a kid, all of us learned slowly over time that while violence would get violence put upon you, cruel words were totally safe. You could say as cruel of a thing as possible until the other person cries or they just go crazy and have to leave. Right? Because there's, again, sticks and stones is just not true. You can say things that are you can say things that are so horrible to a person and so personal too, by the way, and maybe that's when it's the worst. You can say things that are so personal to a person and that are so cruel and unkind and activates sort of like your fears about the worst possible scenarios, activates your fears about whether you're worthy of love and stuff like that. That is quite painful for them. And if their brain's not as determinate as yours is to hold on to these ideas and push them, they lose in some sort of psychological way. It's a weird thing. And it's just kind of like soul-crushing and terrible. So it wasn't just me, but it was everybody in my family eventually started talking in that way, right? Because, again, you couldn't hit each other. You couldn't easily hit each other because you knew you'd be beaten later. But you could say just horrifying things to each other. And so there was a great deal of that. All the time, everyone was talking terribly to each other. You can really beat someone up with words. Right, and so when I hear that whole sticks and stones things, I go, yeah, but except it does work. It does work. Sticks and stones is just a way to claim that it doesn't work, when in fact it works extremely well. Sticks and stones is legit. The words are like sticks and stones. Does Paldea suck? It's so good. We love Paldea. What are you talking about? All right, Mr. Hathim, your box has gotten large enough that we are going to set it up. Let's see. We're going to move Braden Siska is what we're going to do. Yeah, but, you know, what's interesting about all that is you also learn to be very closed-minded in order to defend yourself from those words. So you had to understand the game that was being played, where it was a game of word violence. And so, ironically, that kind of helps me out later in life when I start becoming successful online on the TheCardconomist, and I got lots of haters who came in and told me to kill myself and, you know, all these horrible things. Oh, you suck, you're the worst person, no one deserves more to lose their channel than you do. And I was like, yeah, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, you'll never say anything worse than what my own family said to me, so you can say whatever you want. I don't care. All right, Mr. Hathim. Here we are. Ta-da! All right. I hate you, ho. So far, Scarlet and Violet have just been as disappointing as that start of Sword and Shield. Yeah, actually, if you recall, Sword and Shield was not that good when it came out. Early Sword and Shield was not that popular. But the difference is, I was actually selling a lot of it. Russ, he says, how's it going, Advanced War, buddy? Russ, I finished every single War Room challenge on S-rank difficulty. Here, sit here, Russ, since we're having a little bit of a slow night. I'm going to go grab it. I'll show you. All right, Russ, are you still there? Check this out. Here we are. All right. So here are the S ranks, and check it out. S rank for every single map. I just pooped myself, says Marshall. That's pretty difficult to do, guys, if you've ever played this game. The hardest one was... Strongland was actually pretty difficult. Ring was easy. Risky Veil was surprisingly difficult. This one took a real long time, actually, yeah. I tried all different strategies. Surprising I got it with Max right at the end. Missile Plains wasn't bad. I want to look at the bad ones. Nest Egg took a long time, yeah. Finally got Nest Egg. I'm looking at the difficult one. Pay Dirt took a while. This one was really difficult. Last Mission was probably the most difficult one. I would rank this as the hardest map to get the S rank on. It took me so many tries to get S rank on Last Mission. What kind of game is this? This is Advanced Wars. You guys have never played it? Look. I'll pick out a CO. Hey, that's me! You guys can see me. Oh, look how dirty that screen is. That's gross, man. All right. So this is this game was created by the people who made Fire Emblem. It's a turn-based strategy. I'm building infantry. And turn. Never heard of it. So this is my opponent. He's building infantry. And this is my other opponent. It's 2v1. You never heard of Advanced Wars. It's a popular game. Made a long time ago. They just rebooted it, basically. So I send my unit down here and capture this city. See the little gray city? When I capture that, I get extra funds per turn. So I get money each turn based on how many cities I own. How many buildings are red, basically. So I send all my units forward to capture all this. And then another round of infantry this turn. Every time you show your screen, a small child dies. What? My opponent's going to try and capture as many of the gray buildings as it can. The early game. So, and for whatever reason, the opponent has built this anti-air down here, and that's a big problem for me. Yeah, I love this game, but we won't play it very long. I'll just show you like 1 or 2 more turns. So we're capturing these buildings. This is actually called a base. It allows you to build new units. That's a rockets as an indirect unit. Weird. Mr. needs to invest in a microfiber cloth. Make his turn go faster. Yeah, we'll hop off this. Don't worry, guys. It's a fun game, says Russ. All right, so he sent this up here. Yeah, it's not going to work. But I suppose I could do this, couldn't I? So rockets moves down there. I brought my little infantry down, so we're going to contest this right here. And we're going to build, we'll build a bomber. So I got a big airplane now. See, you got a big range. I'm finish capturing that. Finish capturing this. Move this guy into the mountains. We'll move this guy back. Nice, we should play Clash sometime. Well, you know, if you guys had Advanced Wars, we could probably play some Advanced Wars. I don't play any Clash of Clans. I've never seen anything about that. Look at his units. So all these units are here to stop my 1 infantry from being able to capture this base because the enemy doesn't want me to have this. See? But here, let's turn on options, visual A, I suppose. And now my rockets here are going to fire on this guy. See this guy all the way over here? Here, my indirect unit, the rockets. He's going to shoot on him. Oh no! So now he's not able to capture it on the next turn. That's really important. And my infantry is going to die if I try to capture too. But that's the game. We also have this fun unit who can fly forward and blow stuff up. Like, so if I bring this close here. And then, so anyways, on the next turn, he would fly down here and blow stuff up. But yeah, that's the game. Really like it. I would win, mister, so it won't be fun for me. Oh, yeah? Yeah, I feel like mister would be addicted to Clash of Clans. So Clash of Clans, nice. We should play Clash sometimes. I would play Clash of Clans if it was exactly like Advanced Wars. Yeah, I would do that. We play the Advanced Wars music sometimes. That's what plays on the computer. It's Himara's O'Clock. Let's get back to opening cards. Where's the music? The music pause? Music needs to be reset. Okay, Russ says, 2 Chili Rain. Yeah, the only problem now, Russ, is I'm all out of things to do in Advanced Wars, so I'm done playing it. So I don't play any more Advanced Wars. 1 Emissaries of Light. Okay, give me a second. I'm all out of maps to play. There you go. Is the ZELLE fixed yet? Yeah, don't use ZELLE tonight, guys. There's something wrong with the ZELLE, it seems. I'm hitting refresh. No, there are no new ZELLE orders in at all, according to this. Okay, you ready? So did ZELLE not say it was having trouble on your guys' side at all? I could log into my Bank of America account, but I don't think it says either. Clash is time-consuming as hell. Once you get deep upgrading stuff, it's like a week long per building. Always something to do in COC. Mister, would you consider a Slab away for the Electivire? The Electivire was just being shown off. He's probably going to be considered for a break in the future. Here's Bond Sweep. Here's Brawly. And Finna. I finna bust. Okay, there you go, Mr. Russ. It's getting hot in here, so take off all of your clothing. Did you know that rapper, his name's, what is his name, Nelly? He's from St. Louis, Missouri. Isn't that interesting? Russ. You're over here. Big oof. Big sad. I'm sorry. There you go. Let me log into my Bank of America real fast. Yeah, there's no new orders in my actual Bank of America account. So I do not know what that is all about. Mr. Athim says 2 Sneaky Bunkos. So it's not an issue with my emails. My bank account does not say any new ZELLEs have arrived. Would you bring in Juicy Honey cards? I've heard of those. I've decided not to. I think that they're just kind of like too sexual, maybe. I think that the naughty anime girls is about as far as I want to go. Bust in your face. After Town Hall, 10 Clash of Clans becomes like a job. Thanks for my reverses. I'm master setting chilling. Rust, where the armory guys. That's why Clash Royale is superior. TCC, how many spots left in the Blaziken? So the Blaziken is moving. And I think he is 1/3 done. Yeah, so Blaziken is 1/3 done. He's a fantastic card from Chilling Reign. Very difficult to pull, by the way. He's a very expensive card. So if you were to add that guy to your collection, you'd be adding a really nice card to your collection. You know, and when he's done, we'll pick another nice card. Look at that, at them. You got 2 sexy girls. We need the world leader cards. Yeah, the political cards. I'm not close-minded to adding new stuff to the menu. Our menu is really expansive at this point. There we go. Put this over here. Okay. And we're out of orders. We have no more orders. I have 5.6k trophies in Royale and League 4. Quit asking because you're not going to buy, so why ask? PokeBRUH says, how many spots left in Blaziken? Yeah, Blaziken, I think, had 11 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 spots. That's exactly 1/3 of the Blaziken sold. He's a little more expensive than the last break we did, so he's taking a little more time. For card breaks, we have this Tentacruel. He's a lovely Tentacruel. And the Snorlax. And Mickey Mouse. Put that over there. Turn this back up. I pay for Japanese Gym, not Blaziken. Uh-oh. Who's that, Jared? I was waiting for something like that to happen. I'm looking to see that. Yeah, Jared, I was waiting for something like that to happen. Did you see Lily going up to 100K? I have a feeling it's not really selling for 100K. Once again, I think it's very likely fake and that the seller is not going to pay. Oh, by the way, this gym pack, how many spots are left in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 spots left in here. Okay. Oh, hold on. Music is going to make me sleep, says Robotata. What? Even cost more than the Trophy King has got. That's how you know it's fake, guys. It's got to be fake. I don't know why anyone would spend that much money on a girl character card from an earlier era. She's not even like the most popular character ever. Want a modern card for 100K? Don't make me laugh. Is that the card Mary sold? It is the card Mary sold. Here's a theme. 4 more Paldea Evolved. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, you ready? Sneep. Get those sneeps in. All right. 1, 2, 3. That's cute. And 4. Lily is cute, but Vigoroth, Pineco. Oh, those are all cold. I'm sorry, Mr. Thim. You do pick up that lovely Mimikyu. I think that's a nice card. Lily is more popular than Ash in Japan. Well, that's because everyone's tired of Ash. Ash has been around too long. I'm tired of Ash. That's why I said I'm ready for a new show. Ready for a new Pokemon show to come out with featuring different main characters. Ash has been around too long. He needs to be retired. I thought the whole world was crapping on Ash. We've had a lot of Ash. Tim Stodgel, 3 of the new Minecraft. You got it, Mr. Tim. Mr. Tim. Steamboat Lily is a myth. They did retire Ash. He is retired. Yes. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying when they announced that, I thought that that was a good idea. Time to get some fresh meat in here. Okay. Let's see what we got. Problem is the new show is so boring. Ah, I don't like to hear that. Is it really? What's boring about it? Beware of Witch. Meh. Oops. Ooh, survival mode. Cool, man. Love these sketch cards. They look so cool. Mister will carry Magic Lord of the Rings cards. We'll carry a little bit of Magic Lord of the Rings. I'm not super excited for it, but yeah, we'll have some. Does Yu-Gi-Oh! Still have new episodes? Okay, we got these two. Baby count. Dodge this. Ooh, a little bad corner on that one. Ash finally woke up from his coma. They made the main character a girl, so woke. I don't know, it's okay, isn't it? I don't see a problem with that. I mean, they got a girl character in Minecraft too. There you go. It's not such a terrible thing, is it? There you go. Imagine we pulled a 1-of-1 Lord of the Rings card. We won't. Jesus, the incels in here afraid of a main character being a girl. Yeah, well, I don't blame them entirely, because one of the things that they do with the girl characters is they try to prove that the girl character is way better than boys, and it gets really annoying over time. It's like, oh my god, dude. It's very sort of like, you didn't expect that, did you, sexists? And it gets really preachy. So it sort of ruined it, unfortunately. I like what they did in Adventure Time, where you got all these major girl characters like Marceline and Bubblegum, and they're just enjoyable. You know what I mean? They're just enjoyable. They're not like or whatever the term is, where they're clearly making sort of like a feminist symbol out of their character. Instead, it's an actual story, and it's just a story that starts with a girl. Yeah. Another person tends to do pretty good with that. The Miyazaki films, right? That guy does really well. He picks girl protagonists and makes really great stories out of it. And it shows you that, well, okay, so it's just, the problem is that you got these storytellers that make it a big deal. They're like, the biggest deal about this character is that she's a girl. She's a girl and definitely not a boy. Deal with it, sexists. You know what I mean? So you see Miyazaki making really, if I'm saying his name right, making really great films, like Princess Mononoke or whatever, and they're really watchable, they're really enjoyable. Tim Stodgel. But, you know, so now Pokemon has to do that. Pokemon has to take a character and make it enjoyable. Like Velma. Right, so Velma is a perfect example of that. And I feel like America especially does that. The West especially does that. So America takes characters like Velma, and now they got to turn her into like some sort of feminist symbol. You know, because all the boys are bad, the girls are oppressed, and da-da-da, and all this, and it never ends, and you just get so tired of hearing it. Eventually, it's like you tune it out. You don't, like, when you were younger, you actually engaged in the conversation. You listen to it, and you're like, yeah, things are unfair for girls. We got to make things right. But it's like, over a long period of time, you're like, oh my God, you just won't shut up about this at this point. And it's not even that uneven anymore. You know, in many ways, there are guys who, girls tend to sort of, they don't avoid the very worst places in life, in my opinion. Those are all reserved for men. Men are going to work in the sewers. Men are going to be in the front line in the Ukraine war. Men are going to be treated worse in a divorce court. And men are just sort of expected to be this expendable working guy who's going to provide. Yeah, so you hear me complaining, but you get my point of view. So I feel like you get tired of all of the sort of like men versus women, women versus men conversation that's put into all of our media. Stephen Mitt says, the CGC 10 Pikachu, one spot in the poker card break, and can I slap away the Rainbow Tyranitar? You can. All right, here you go, Stephen. Stephen, that's a nice card. There we go. Can I email a photo of my Zelle payment? You know, Matthew, what'd you order? I'll let you spend the money. Go ahead. I trust you. One spot in the poker card break. Stephen Mitz. Yeah, you just tell me what you got. My wife was telling me today, she's like, I wish society had just told me to get a nice husband and have children and not get a job at all. She said she thought she was doing the right thing, going to school, getting educated, doing all this work. She's like, we have more money, but it's like, I have no kids. 4 of the Naruto Wave 5s. Okay, we could probably do that. So you wanted to also sob away this card over here, Steven? So, Steven, did you send payment for that? Let's see. Yeah, I believe you did. Let me find out exactly what you sent. So 80 would leave $50 left over. Spot in the poker card break. So you sent $45. You got it, Steven Mitz. Steven. Does anyone else have a Zelle order that is stuck right now? Because we got a problem with the Zelle at the moment. Stephen Mitz, Tyranitar 10. 350, 330. They almost come off sort of like an incel group, you know what I mean? At that point. Like the feminists feel like an incel group, but for women. And it's not a flattering tone, and it gets to be a bit much, you know? There's a point where I've ran out of sympathy because I don't feel like there's anything going on that's so bad. Oh no. Let's see. Where's my KU? I thought I had more than this. All right, so I've got these KU packs right here. You may need to give me a minute because I believe I have more somewhere. I thought I had more already. I thought I had more sitting in these boxes right here. I suppose not, huh? So I need to go looking for some more KU packs. Yogo says, I had a Zelle for 10 boxes of Paldea and shipping immediately. Zelle be bugging. I got a Zelle order stuck for 25K. Yeah, OG Bobs has used the right word. It's a femcell thing. It's not very flattering. It reaches a point where it no longer feels like a complaint, but more like an identity. You know what I mean? So I want to hear the complaints, but the identity thing gets to be kind of like, all right, obnoxious. I'll be back. I got to find some KU. You want some Naruto? I want Naruto! It's pronounced Naruto. eBay posts are going to start saying rare yellow border. No, they're not. See the moon out, looks really nice. It's kind of cool that we can all see the same moon, isn't it? So if you guys looked at the moon, you'd be looking at the same thing I'm looking at. Even though we're very far apart. So he said 4 of them, right? I'm trying to remember how many he said. Was it 4 or was it 5? 4 of them. All right, you got it. How much for a box of Naruto? I don't know how many packs exactly are in there. Ta-da. It's a bit loud. Let me turn it down a little bit. Okay. Matthew, I got that email. A picture of the order. Pending, huh? It says pending. Maybe that's part of it. I got no idea. Okay, Matthew. You mean hollow spaceship full of lizards? What are your thoughts on building a home instead of buying one? I hear it's more expensive to do that. So for me, personally, I'll just buy an already made one. I don't care. If I was rich, I would strictly build a home, I suppose. Can't look at the same moon if you're in Australia. Very, very fair point. Very fair point. Oh, so you got this guy. Okay. You got the Hoochie Mommies. It's all been buggy these past 2 days. Yeah, what's up with that? Uh-huh, you got Glasses Girl. Okay. Oh, you got Bruce Lee's dad. Okay, very nice. Now you got these lenticulars. I'm just going to group them together. I've never had anyone request a grade on a lenticular. You can definitely build a lower quality home for cheaper. There we go. Boop. Oh, not for Stephen Mitz. Matthew Penn. I mean, there's probably an ideal time to build a home. Maybe when the labor is cheap and the materials are cheap. And the cost of homes are very high. So that would be like an ideal scenario. Then it would make more sense to do it. Ryan Holmes does it. There we go. Ryan Holmes. I want to be like Ryan Holmes someday. I hope when I grow up, I can be like Ryan Holmes. Was there anyone else who had a Zelle transaction that maybe they'd like to send me a picture of the purchase? Their homes are horrible. Oh, really? I thought about buying a plot of land out here and then making like, maybe like a tiny home village with like a beautiful park and like shared space and all that, sidewalks and it'd be really interesting if you had like access to the lake too. So let's say you bought a plot of land that connects to the lake. It just has one small access to the lake, and then it's a shared land that you can build a ton of tiny homes on, and it's just sort of like come out here and live for fun on the lake or something like that. I'm just patiently waiting for the housing market to collapse in the UK. That's what they're saying here in the US, and it never collapsed. Yes, me, but it will be a dick pic, says Luke Crawford. I don't know about that. Well, it is 3:50. We can wrap up 10 minutes early. They're called production homes. Only like 4 types of houses in a whole neighborhood. Then you can customize options. Yeah, we had a busier daytime stream, I feel. Yeah, our daytime stream was crazy busy. Of course, we got a $1,000 order from Mr. Jonathan Morris for Cardconomist grading. And so that's a giant order. How many grades is that for $1,000? How many times does 8 go into 1,000? Divided by 8. 125 grades. Whew. I'll be stuck here grading all day. Did you check ZELLE? Says Dawn Silent. ZELLE is broken. ZELLE is broken for some reason. We are not getting ZELLEs. Yeah, ZELLE orders are not coming in. I think what's going to happen is anyone who paid for ZELLE, their order probably will eventually go through, and then you'll get open. What'd you get, Dawn? Tell me what you got. Tell me what you sent for. You know what Matthew Penna did? He just took a picture of it and sent me a picture. It took my money, says Dawn. Well, I believe you. It's just not arriving for some reason. Damn you, ZELLE. Freaking ZELLE. A slab away payment. Okay, I can do that. How much was it for? Do you remember? When I was younger, I used to build those kind of homes. They go up very fast. You go up very fast. 145. And what's your name? Is it David Morris or something? I'm trying to remember who you are. This is feeling like the end of the stream. Pokemon Kevin, I'll take more orders. We got 10 minutes left. If you want to place an order, you got to place it right now, okay? Silence. Quiet. Don Silent, what's your name? I don't know which card to apply it to. I got to know your name. You don't have to tell me. You can just wait for me to get the... Because I'm sure the ZELLE will eventually come through. It'll probably come through tomorrow. Or technically, I mean today. Later in the day today. Jose Mendez, PSA 10 Ente. Okay, thank you. Let's get that done. And you say how much? 145, Jose Mendez? Okay, here it is, Jose Mendez. I'll leave a note. All right, so I left a note next to yours, so that's all good. And I'm not seeing any other new orders. I think the stream's effectively coming to a close. I placed an order, Mr. on ZELLE. Again, it's the exact same 4 Naruto Wave 5s. All right, I'll do it for you. I don't think you'd be trying to pull the wool over my eyes for such a simple order, such a small one. You probably did it on purpose, but Matthew Penna's Slab away, you said another name when you wrote on it. What? What are you talking about? Matthew Penna's Slab away. Wait, I'm going to send an order. Sounds good, Yolan. Give me more details, Space Jesus. What are you talking about? Got any graded Pikachu cards for the Slab away? Graded Pikachu cards. I got the best graded Pikachu cards. I got my toes in the water and toss in the sand. You said Steven when you set the cards to the side. Oh, yeah, I got it correctly, though. It's because I read the PayPal line, and Steven was the last one. And I went, wait a second, this is for Matthew Penna. He's like, I'm also confused. I don't have a slab away. You trying to trick us? He trying to trick us, man. Oh, you got one of the sexy Hanatas. I only know this character because my wife actually finds her sexy. There you go. She's like, oh, Hanata's sexy. I'm also confused. I don't have any slab aways. I already read that. Okay, sorry, mister. No problem. There we go. He's trying to protect you from getting your cards put in the wrong bag, probably. Okay, blonde-haired girl. Blondie. She's a ninja. You know how it is. There's a lot of blonde-haired, blue-eyed Asian girls in Japan. If you think about it, Naruto's blonde-haired, too. I think it's really funny that a lot of anime uses, like, English-looking characters, or maybe they're meant to look kind of like the Germans or something. I don't know. Is it just me, or do the Japanese like the Germans? Does it have something to do with, like, their alliance during World War II? Is that what it is? Or do they just, like, respect them? I don't know. Okay, so that's for Matthew Penna as well. Let me grab your bag. Sent you a screenshot. Thanks, man. I'm too sexy for my shirt. I'm too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt. So sexy it hurts. Such a funny song. I'm a model, you know what I mean. And I do my little turn on the catwalk. Click this. What was that guy's name? Like something Frank? Yolan says 2 more Tentacruel spots. You got it, Yolan. Yolan to Jampins. Okay. 3 time to mind packs. Ooh, the time to mind packs are so cool. I like them a lot. Have 2 baggies in the box with the Yu-Gi-Oh card shop. There we are. Thanks for the boobies, mister. You got it, man. Yeah, that Hanata card's hilarious. It's like a weirdly very sexual card. So when they were putting the cards together, they must have chosen and been like, get that one where she looks all like sexual. Okay, that's an achievement card called More Tools. Do it. Here she is. There's a creeper. Oh! Oh no, I dropped a creeper. He's okay. He fell on his flat side. He didn't fall on a corner or anything. Poor creeper, though. Falling an inch out of my hand. Dude, I like that. I like that creeper. What I was trying to do was trying to shuffle him to the front there because I liked him so much. Okay, hostile behavior. Panda. No! PSA 1. It's ruined. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to drop them. They don't fall very far. There's the bunny. Here's this guy. Okay, and then finally, in your note, you put 125. I sent 145. Ah, we're going to fix that. I'm sorry. Ah, they're about to have sex. Okay. We got the Ghast, we got the Bat, and we got the Hoglin. What? That's for you, Mr. Yellen. Aren't these cards cool? I really think Minecraft is an interesting set to consider getting into. Mostly because there's going to be so many like kids who grew up playing Minecraft who might one day go, I'm going to collect the card set. And then on top of that, there's a lot of Minecraft creators, content creators, who might collect, you know, the best Minecraft cards and say, look, I got the best Minecraft cards. All right, let's adjust that note so that it says the correct amount. My bad. I must be getting tired. Okay. Thanks, mister. No problem. It looks like, once again, we're out of orders. So I'm good. We're going to go ahead and wrap up now, guys. It was a great day. We had 2 streams today, a daytime and a nighttime stream. And when you add them together, it's a pretty good day, actually. We had a lot of card sales and Paldea Evolved, I believe we went through 4 boxes of it, which is not bad. It's not impressive compared to like when Evolving Skies came out, but yeah, 4 boxes in about 5 hours is not that bad, considering you guys buy a lot of other stuff too. So yeah, not too bad. They're going to do the 69 members only. Yay. I had fun, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to do another walking stream as usual. So I'll see you guys in about an hour and a half. We're going to do the walking stream about an hour and a half from now. See you later, everybody. Oops. Oh my God. There it goes.